Hear voices I don't wanna understand. My car keys are jingling in my hand. My heels are clicking towards your door. Is this one thing that got me tripping? Is this one thing that got me tripping? You did this one thing, you saw me feeling. Is this one thing you did? Oh, is this one thing that caught me slipping? Is this one thing I want to admit? You did this one thing and I was so with it. Is this one thing you did? Oh. It's just something. It's just. And maybe I just can't believe it. It's this one thing you did. Trying to let the door, but I keep on seeing you. I'm hoping you can keep it a secret. Babe, what you did? This one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing that got me tripping. This one thing you saw me feeling. This one thing you did, this one thing that caught me so. This one thing I want to ignore. This one thing and I was so with it. This one thing you did, but I keep on seeing you. I'm hoping you can keep it a secret. Babe, what you did? This one thing that got me tripping. This one thing that got me tripping. You did this one thing you saw me feeling. This one thing you did. This one thing that caught me slipping. This one thing I want to admit it. You did this one thing and I was so with it. It's this one thing you did. And maybe I just can't believe it. It's this one thing you did. Trying to let the door, but I keep on seeing you. I'm hoping you can keep it a secret. Babe, what you did? This one thing that got me tripping. This one thing that got me tripping. You did this one thing you saw me feeling. This one thing you did. This one thing that caught me slipping. This one thing I want to admit it. You did this one thing and I was so with it. It's this one thing you did.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, Polo.
What's up, my nigga?
I ain't ready for this one.
Let's go. It's on for baby.
Want me to get you something, daddy?
Hey, girl, hair you the business. Show up the business. Don't be shy. I'm just talking to you, girl. Hey, ma, yo, where your man at? I know you got that, 'cause you too fine to be single out your girl. He at home, but he done fucked up. I swooped this girl up, and what I'm about to do, he'll feel I did him wrong. 'Cause I'm about to have a menage with his lady and some freaks at the bar who like fucking with a star. I told her, if you fucking with me, really fucking with me, yeah, you go get some girls and bring them to me. If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you let her put her hands in your pants. Be my little break, be my little break, be my little break. Let her put her hands in your pants. Be my little break. If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you let her put her hands in your pants. Be my little
You look so good, hot inna your shorts, hot inna your shorts. So you have it short. If them man a move off, then you have to lock him off. Or you forget wild and Jackie chopping off. Hear same things spectacular fi talk. Me and you a walk and stop inna the park. Then we start talk and chop inna the grass. When you a dance, you tick tacky talk. Man jiggle up your waist, and me tell you fi go on. You want wine slow, and me tell you fi go on. You want bubble bed, and me tell you fi go on. Now when you start going, you fi beg you fi come.
If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you go get some girls and bring them to me. If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you
say I'm on duty. I'm looking for a cutie, a real big old ghetto booty. I really like your kitty cat, and if you let me touch her, I know you're not a bluffer. I'll take you to go see Usher. I keep a couple hoes like Santa. I keep a vixen, got that dasher, dancer, prancer, Dixon, comic, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. I'm hot at 100 degrees, a lot of bread, no sesame seeds. If I'm in your city, I'm signing them tingle biddies. I'm plotting on how I can take Cassie away from Diddy. The girls want a menage, yeah, they wetter than the raining. Usher puts me in, everybody loves raining.
If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you gon' get some girls and bring them to me. If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you let her put her hands in your pants. Be my little friend, be my little friend, be my little friend. Let her put her hands in your pants. Be my little friend. If you fucking with me, really fucking with me, you let her put her hands in your pants. Be my little friend.
Push me against the wall, girl, me make you feel it, brace me. Flexible, no, you're not lazy. In your head, you so yeah, you better sit in on your head. You wind up your waist till it pop like check. Girl, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Oh, you want money for the song. Flexible, bend down to the door. Jiggle up your body, your mind go down now. Hey, girl, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, down. Girl, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, down. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, down. Girl, sit down, sit down, down. Leave my girl down. You want the best girl, let me know you feel know. Jiggle up your body, your mind go down low.
Mic check. Let's do a mic check. Who's with me? Let me know if you're here. Sabrina Calloway, what's good? I was checking on you the other day to make sure you're good. Your rehab, and I know you went back to work. Blessings to you, Queen. What's good with everyone today? Let's make sure we're here. Woo, a little late, a little late. I'm lucky to be here. Little late. Let me know if you can hear me. Throw a thumbs up or put it in the screen. Say, I'm here and I can hear you. Or just put a thumb up. Let me know you here. One way or the other. We had a show this morning. Generally, what happens is when I do shows in the morning, and I've been doing them for the last, couple weeks now, that same day, it's just too much. What's good, bro? He says, I'm here. Appreciate you being here. You know, I'm not going to do a part 2 of this morning. I'm trying to learn how to have that conversation and let it move on. This is not a mini series. I'm trying not to do that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Carolyn Smith says, hello, all. Grandson started 4th grade today, and we're ready for the challenge that come along with the 4th grade. Will bring strength. Let's go. 4th grade is tough. Vernon says, I'm here, Wyatt. Thanks for unblocking me. Block his ass, man. Go ahead and block this mug because he play too much. Block him for real. Let's make what he says legit. And then bring him back in a couple weeks. And then you guys have to, my sinuses, they're cutting the grass outside. I went out, get the mail and stuff, and my sinuses instantly took me away. When I walked back inside and the air conditioning, it all tore me apart. And then I came right down here and plugged up. So I might sniff a little bit today for about 10, 15 minutes maybe, because man, my sinuses are ridiculous. When I come in from outside, the worst days of my life is when the people are cutting the grass and it's muggy and hot. And then I walk into the air conditioning. My head feels this big. I mean, it feel like every time I breathe in, it grows. You feel me? And I ain't talking about from arrogance. I'm talking about from pollen or whatever that stuff is outside. It is horrible for me. My sinuses are crazy. Here's the thing. My sinuses, I don't know who else has this problem, but my sinuses are a little bit different than most people. It's not better. I think it's a little bit better. I don't know. Would you rather cough or rather sneeze? My sinuses make me cough. I get a dry cough like that. I don't sneeze. I don't sniffle that often. I cough. Anybody that's known me for years, it could be 92 degrees outside and I'll cough. It could be 30 degrees outside and I cough. I just have this thing with my sinuses. It's a cough sinus. Now I know we got a bunch of nurses and a bunch of play doctors on here that's gonna tell me, well, what you need to start eating onions on Tuesday, and then cut back on Wednesday and just eat all garlic. I know y'all gonna tell me that. Somebody gonna tell me some home remedy shit, and I'm not gonna do it. So keep it to yourself. I promise you. Now that's my killer out there. That's my killer. My dog is barking at the line, people, because they get too close. You know what I'm saying? I got a killer. He don't let people get close to the building. Little Duke don't let them get close to the building at all. And I can hear them out there, and Duke go crazy. Now you know he ain't gonna fight sleep, but he will protect the house. That's my little dog. That's my killer Duke, my killer. Hey, let's do a short one today, if you guys don't mind, man. Let's get one in so I can lick my wounds and be ready for you guys in the morning at 8. Tomorrow's what, Thursday? Yeah, we'll do it 8 o'clock in the morning on my way in. Dominique Friendly, what's good, sis? She says cough, sneeze, sniffle, and all. You do it all? Some people do all the above. They check all the boxes. You feel me? Some check all the boxes. Me, I just have a cough. Now, when I run into a situation like today, running in and catching the lawn care people coming in, that stuff that gets in the air, that do me real bad. That's just horrible for my sinuses. Let's go. Let's move on. No, we ain't at the numbers yet. Hit the tag, hit the like, hit the share. Send somebody over here. I'm not going to get onto my topic until I hit a certain number. I know where I need to be on my numbers in order to make it right and make it interesting. Now, I know I'll talk to 3 or 4 people. That's not it. But what I don't like to do is start my topic too early, because when I start too early, then somebody come in and be like, what he say? What they talking about? What happened? For real, that happened? Damn, I missed the video. Hey, Wyatt, can you play the video again? Now, let me just say this to you. For those that say, well, you tripping, Wyatt, you always late. Well, I'm usually here between the minutes of 1 o'clock and 1:15. That's pretty consistent of the Wyatt Live show. If it's 1:25, y'all might want to say, I'm going to check again one more time. I'm going to check and see if his ass coming one more time, okay? If it's 1:30 and you ain't heard from me yet, shit, it ain't going to happen. If you haven't heard me say, okay, we're going to start at 1:30, I'm going to put a flyer out or something. I'm going to put something out there to say I'll be here at 1:30 or something. If it's 1:30 and it's been crickets over here, chances are I ain't coming. You feel me? And I'm tied up. It's not that I don't want to come. Sometimes I don't want to come. I ain't going to lie. But it might not be because of that reason. It might be that I'm tied up. I'm on a phone call. I'm in a meeting, anything. Pardon me, anything, any of that. It's not that I'm just saying, forget them. I wouldn't do that. All right? So I'm going to wait a few more seconds. We only got a couple more ticks before we get into it. If y'all hit the share, if you send it, if you tag one of your friends, I tell you what, let me wet your taste buds a little bit so you'll share. The fellas ain't going to share this shit, but the ladies just might, because I'm on y'all ass today. Pause. I'm on y'all today, ladies. You know why? Because guess what we're going to talk about today? I played one of the songs. You get the hint? I played the artist known as Usher. And y'all know Usher and Chris Brown coming to town. And do you know how many people sent me, as if the shit ain't going to hit my algorithms because of what I talk about and all that? You know how many people sent me in my DM and text messaged me how much those tickets going to cost? I told y'all the other day, oh yeah, they about to run it up on y'all. They about to run it up on y'all for them tickets. You might as well just fly to Vegas, watch Chris Brown on his weekend, fly home, fly back out to Vegas and catch Usher on his weekend. You know they do they do these resident shows out there. They'll keep up, they'll go 3 months at a time or something like that. Out there to Vegas and fly and watch Usher on his weekend, fly back to the Natty or Chicago or Cleveland, wherever you from in this world. Because you're going to spend the same amount of money. That's what it's going to cost. It's cheaper to see them in Vegas. You can get in the residency for about $200. If you catch them in Vegas, you'll have a much better time. I'm just saying, no hating on my city of Cincinnati. I'm just talking about, it's almost like taking a cruise. Why would I just spend $2,500 to go to an island when I can spend $1,500 or $2,000 and get on a cruise, eat free, stay free, do everything, and go to 3 or 4 different islands, 3 or 4 different beaches, 3 or 4 different things around, just so much more to do for the money. Sometimes you got to shop on a budget and you got to ball on a budget too. Mama Birch said, I want that 2K seat. Mama Birch, that's real close to that seat that man gonna pull some little lady up on the stage. If I find out they pulled your ass up on that stage, it's gonna be a problem. If they pull your ass up on that stage, Mama Birch, we fighting. That's a violation. I'm sorry, I'm probably the only one laughing at that because I can picture it. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all don't know Mama Birch. That's why you ain't laughing. Cause her ass will get up there. She'll get up there. She one of them mamas. She one of them type of mamas. She ain't gonna never stop being fly. Y'all know them mamas. My mama was like that. My mother, this is not joke time. This is real shit right here. My mother was 30 when I was 15 years old. So what? When I was 16, she was 31. Let's do the because I'm trying to get to a senior in high school. When I was 17, she was 32. When I was 18, she was 33 years old. I was 18 as a senior. 33. Now I did not understand when I was a young man. I did not understand what was going on with my mama. I didn't know why my mama wanted to be so damn cool. I didn't know why she wanted to engage with my friends or the girls and the guys. She just wanted to be cool. She wanted to watch. Y'all got to understand, when I was coming up, BET, Video Souls, and all that shit was popular. MTV raps and hip hop rap and all that. It was popular. We watched the videos. We watched the dances, Big Daddy Kane dances, Heavy D and the Boys dances, and we would pick up the dance steps and shit off of the TV and form our own steps. And I never understood why my mama was always trying to do the Running Man. I just don't understand why she was always trying to be cool with us. Like, these my friends. You embarrassing me. She'll run in my room while I'm DJing. I had turntables and I'm working on some scratches. I'm working on some shit with a mix, and my partner's in there and they dancing and we trying to put a routine together or whatever for the party. You know how you gotta do the party thing the weekend coming. My mama will run in there and be doing the damn Running Man and looking crazy to me. Everybody thought my mama was cool. I had the cool mama. But I didn't realize my mother was 33 years old. You don't pay no attention to no shit like that when you're a kid. My mother is my mother and she's just older than all of us. Why are you in here? But my mother was 33. I didn't even think of that. You know what 33-year-olds are doing right now? Acting 20. 33-year-olds are acting 20 or 25 years old. And so that meant my grandmother probably was about 45 or 50. So my grandmother was probably like my age. No wonder. Anybody ever thought of that? Or maybe your mom had you, or your parents had you at a late age, so none of those things that I just spoke about even was relevant. Like, you can't even relate to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's probably something more wrong with what my situation was. But my mother was 33 when I graduated from high school. Damn. No wonder. Wow. Didn't even think of that. Never thought of that. Hey, we're gonna go over a couple things today, man. We're gonna go over a couple things today. Ladies, put your seatbelt on. Okay? Put your seatbelt on because I'm gonna ask you a serious question about this Usher and Chris Brown shit. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. By the show of hands, I don't know if this crowd, if this audience right here is the one that I could bring this to, because I just think that there's some people in here that got a little bit more sense than this. But let's try it. Let's just try it. I shouldn't have said that because it's probably gonna make some people reluctant to answer truthfully. Who's going to that Chris Brown Usher concert? By the show of hands, throw a thumbs up if you're going to that concert. Mama Birds, put your hand down, please. I know you're not going. If I catch you in there with that leather suit on and them boots with that hat, we're gonna have a problem. Don't do it. Don't rock the black leather on their ass, Mama Bird. Don't do it. They will pull you up there. Okay, Carolyn Smith says she going. Come on now. She said psych. Okay, I was about I know as much as you talk about dollars and cents and wanting to talk about some money, I know your ass ain't about to jack off $2,000 like that. I know you not. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you. Just like I wanted to go see New Edition in that little R&B tour with New Edition, Bobby Brown, and what's the other group name? Boys the Men. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see the TLC, In Vogue, and somebody else on that tour with them. I wanted to see all of that. Guess what? I done been to about 15 cities. I seen them in 15 cities. I'm serious. I've caught them in Dallas. I caught them in Cleveland. I caught them in Phoenix, Arizona. I caught them in Chicago. I caught them in where was that? Roxdale, Arizona. I caught them in this is the In Vogue TLC tour. I caught them in Vegas. Now I could go on and on. I caught them. I watched that show 15. I seen them 15 times. All you got to do is go to YouTube. All you got to do is go to YouTube and put in TLC, In Vogue tour or whatever, and you can watch the whole thing because it's always somebody that paid a bunch of money sitting in that center that record the shit on their phone. I've been to the Bobby Brown tour, BBD, New Edition. I've been to all of them. I've seen them all. Seen them all. And I've seen them multiple times. I can stop, play, and say, did he say the right word? I did all that shit. I played it all. I've been to every concert they done had on that tour because I can watch the shit on YouTube. This is why, what's his name? What's the comedian's name? Funny looking dude, the funniest dude in comedy right now, but he really a square. What's his name? Damn, bro, I keep wanting to call him Bill Bellamy, and he is funny. What's his name, y'all? Funny looking dude, tall black dude, funny looking dude, get all the love and respect. Had the show. Dave Chappelle. Sorry, Dave. That's the only way I can describe you, bro. You are a funny looking little dude. You the dude that nobody paid attention to in school. I already know. So Dave Chappelle don't allow you to bring cell phones into his show. Now, let me tell you who's really the funniest dude, that it don't matter if you take a cell phone into his concert because he freestyle. What is his name? I'm drawing a blank. Day. Nah, hell no, not Kevin Hart. Day. All right, what's from Indy? From right across, right over here. He act just like a Midwest dude. Y'all know his name. What's his name, man? Put it in the screen for me, bro. And he is the dude that I really rock with, bro. And I cannot think of his name. I'm drawing such a blank right now. Mike Epps. Thank you, Fang. I rock with Mike Epps. You could take a cell phone in his show because every show is different. I didn't see Mike Epps in a little bitty club where it was only maybe 100 people, 150 people. I went and seen him in Louisville, and it was only like 100 people, 150 people, a little small little spot. And he tore that shit up. Then I didn't went and seen him in arenas. Now I actually was there. I bought a ticket the whole 9. But I've actually gone and seen Mike Epps. Mike Epps is off the chain, yo. He act just like a dude down the way. Mike Epps is the shit. I'm telling y'all. Mike Epps is funny as hell. And his shows are always different. He ain't worried about you recording him. He's not worried about you recording his show because it's always different. He freestyle, he get on the crowd, he have a good time. He's a great showman. Mike Epps is one of the best. Mike Epps is one of the best. I think Dave Chappelle is good. You know how sometimes people are really overrated, but don't nobody really want to tell the truth and be like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Cat Williams is right now. Cat ain't funny no more. Y'all know he ain't funny no more. Let's be honest, bro. Cat had his time. He had his run. He was the dopest at one time. But Cat ain't told a funny joke in I don't know how long. I don't know how long it's been since Cat Williams said some shit that I just cracked up on. Remember when he was Money Mike and he would get on tour and he came to Cincinnati. He said the funniest shit in Cincinnati. I mean, you know, about the Round Hotel or Round Shopping Mall. Is that a Foot Locker? Is that another Foot Locker? I mean, he said that shit everywhere, but it was kind of funny in Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, we had that Round Hotel or that Round. Yeah, it had a hotel in it, but we had that Round Mall downtown, and it was like you walk in a circle and you see the same shit over and over again, and you think that this mall is bigger than what it really is, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? So he was funny on that. But Mike Epps, he the shit. He is it. And I haven't heard Cat Williams say some funny shit in I don't know how long. The last time anybody ever paid attention to Cat Williams is when he sat down with Shay Shay. And he dropped them bombs. And I'll give him his credit. It was on point. Like he said, he told some truths, but he told a lot of shit that was just some shit too. He was just talking. Yeah, Ed, it was the Omni. You right. He was just talking. Earthquake can't read. Then he was talking about all the people that, you know, he was talking so bad about Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart didn't deserve that, bro. Kevin Hart didn't deserve. And I like Cat Williams. If I go to bat for Cat Williams, but when he wrong, he wrong. Cat Williams was wrong for what he said. What he's been doing with Kevin Hart. So what? Kevin Hart ain't done nothing. Even if he's a plant, like Cat Williams say, Kevin Hart has done nothing to misrepresent us as a people. He hasn't done anything. He ain't done no blocking. He ain't stopped nobody from being great in that field. He done brought people up with him. You know what I'm saying? D-Ray and all of them. He done brought a lot of people with him, bro. Cat has too. Cat Williams has too. But with those two guys doing that type of stuff, that was just something we didn't really need. Both of those guys are pulling people up with them, but then tearing each other down. And it wasn't so much Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart tried to ignore that dude for a long time. And family, let me just say this to y'all. I ain't even a Kevin Hart fan. Like, he's better in movies than he is on stand-up for me. Dude is not a stand-up. He's not a really good stand-up comedian to me because I don't like people that stop and jerk and and laugh at their own shit and all that. I don't that's not the style that I prefer. I know people that like that. He can make you laugh without saying anything because he start laughing. So that means you like he has your full attention. Now, you got to say some funny shit to get my attention. I'm not paying attention to your aura, how you are. I'm paying more attention to what you're talking about. So Mike Epps, bro, y'all slipping on Mike Epps. Mike Epps is one of the funniest dudes on the planet because he can take some shit from the audience and make 20 or 30 minutes on it. And it's all funny from go to the end of it. That all being said, man, who all put their hand up saying they going to this Usher and Chris Brown concert? All I'm going to say to you is this. What did they dropped it yesterday? They dropped it the day before school started, right? Like tickets go on sale. Didn't they go on sale yesterday to a private group? And then they went on sale today for the public or something like that. All I can say is this. All I can say is this, family. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Don't get mad at me for telling this truth. But thank God. Thank the Lord that them babies already got their school clothes. Because it was going to be some ass out little kids running around the city of Cincinnati with no school clothes. Because Chris Brown and Usher are coming into town, and they mamas and they daddies, or they daddies and they mamas, or whoever they stand, auntie or whoever is responsible for getting them some school clothes, was going to F that money all the way up, because it's going to be some shit that is not going to get paid because they're going to go to that Usher and Chris Brown concert. It's going to be some kids that ain't getting no school clothes, no school shoes, school tuition going to be all jacked up because they mamas going to go to that Usher concert. They 30-year-old mamas going to go to them 20-year-old mamas going to go to that concert. 25-year-olds. That's about the age, right? 25, 30, or is it 30-year-olders? Think 30. So thank God that those tickets dropped before school, before they had to either make a choice. Do I get my baby some shoes for school, or do I keep stacking my money so I can go to the Chris Brown Usher concert? Because you know that's what they would have chose the concert. I seen it. You can say, oh, he tripping. You can say all that you want to. When I was coming up, I worked at Metropolitan Housing. Y'all know that. Some of y'all know. I used to work for CMHA. You know when the highest eviction time of the year was? You know when it was? Right about now. Right around the Jazz Festival time. Right after Jazz Festival, people was 2-3 months behind on their rent. Now, I know I ain't said no names, so I ain't necessarily spitting nobody's no one in particular's business out there. But if you go back and you do the track record, the highest eviction time in their history, CMHA's history, was when it was right at summer, because it was so much fun going on and everybody had to pay for new outfits and shoes and all type of stuff to go to the Jazz Festival. They'll use their rent money to do it. So now, who gonna spend? I got the list. Let's put it up here. Let me see. I got the list right here. Let me see. Somebody sent it to me and then I put it out there. Check this out. I hope y'all can hear me and I hope y'all can see this shit. Look at where the stage is at. Now, this is where it just started. To sit on the floor right down in front of the stage. $1,216 per seat. Off to the left of stage, which is that little cushion. I know exactly where that is. It's the little boxed in area. $1,150 per seat. Everything is $1,100, $1,200 or better down on the floor. In order to get to somewhere to sit, just to get in the buildings is $200. Just to go through the thing and them scan your ticket, it's $176, and you sitting up there where the lights and the birds be sitting. You might as well watch the shit on YouTube if you that high in the sky, because you ain't gonna hear the drum beat until you get to the second drum beat. You're not gonna hear the same song that everybody else listening to. It's gonna be on a delay. That's what those seats are. So just to get in the building, $162 for them to scan your ticket. Now, I got a question, and this ain't no hater shit. I hope y'all don't think I'm trying to be a hater. I'm just being realistic. I got a question. Where are all the people who scream and holler about how oppressed black folks are? Now, let's do a little small survey before you answer that question. There's going to be some white people there. There's going to be some Latino people there. There's going to be some people from out of town there. There's going to be some Blasians there. There's going to be some white people there. There's going to be some Russians there. There's going to be some people of all groups there. But who do you think is going to be the majority there? I'd say 95% of the audience going to be us. And the other 5% will be divided up by all those other people that I mentioned. So where are all the people that scream and holler? We need these. We ain't got. We oppressed. We ain't got no. And they bring in a concert into town. I can guarantee you it's probably a $10 million concert. Usher and Chris Brown will probably leave this city with a couple $1 million apiece in their pocket for us to be such a po-ass people. For black folks to have it so damn bad in America. And they're adding dates. So it's not, people in Cincinnati went all the way to Cleveland to see this concert. You know that, right? So they was traveling, just like people gonna travel into Cincinnati to go to that concert. And it's gonna be black folks. The majority of people there gonna be us. And I want to know where all the people that stand up and talk about, oh man, shit, you know what? Affordable housing. They always doing us this kind of way. We ain't got this, we ain't got that. We got to make shit affordable. Gas is $52. I just filled my tank up and it was $52. Damn. See, this is why none of that shit ever makes sense to me, because when stuff like this pop off, there ain't an empty seat in the house. Never. They're adding dates because they're selling out these concerts across the country. And they selling to you and I, not me. I don't know. They not, bro, I'm okay. I'm gonna catch the shit on YouTube. Probably in my theater at my house. I'm gonna put it on the biggest screen I got. I'm gonna pop some popcorn and get me a slushie, and I'm gonna watch the same concert you about to spend $2,000 on. That's just me. I asked y'all the other day, I asked the fellas, if Usher grab your girl and she go up on stage, do she got a ride when she get home? I mean, when she get back? Are you gonna be at that seat when she come back? Because you know what they about to do to her. No. No. You can't go up there, sweetheart. No. Am I an insensitive man? Am I insensitive for saying, no, she can't go up on that stage? Have you seen what they do to the girls that go up on that stage? That's a hard act to follow for me. I can't go home and do that shit like that, like, and now you want to play the music? It ain't even me you with, baby. Just be honest. It ain't even me you thinking of. Shit, bro, I'll be at the pool watching this shit on the, well, let me keep my shit to myself. I'm just saying, if they grab my wife, they about to throw both of us out. You hear me? If me and my wife was at that show, say for instance, I just happened to win some tickets. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, because I ain't never gonna buy no shit. I ain't never spending them. Do you know what I can buy with $2,000? I can make $2,000 look like $5,000 in 2 years. I ain't never about to give somebody $2,000 and I'm walking away and I ain't got shit in return but a memory. That ain't never going to happen. Not at the age that I am. I got enough fucking memories in my life. I got enough. If I want to hear Usher, you know what? I tell you what. If I want to hear Usher, all I got to do is come in, plug up shit, and just cut it on the home the home stereo throughout the house, at the pool, wherever, and we can listen to some Usher all night if that's what you want to do. If that's going to make you feel good, I'm going to do it for you, baby. Here you go. That's all I got for you. How much did that just cost me? Just being honest. Now, y'all, some of the people probably think I'm hating. I'm not hating on it. I'm just being realistic. Now, I know it's going to be a lot of people at the concert. There's going to be a lot of people there that's probably not from Cincinnati, and I ain't going to joke on them. I ain't going to say nothing. Congratulations to the city of Cincinnati getting such a large event. I love it. Maybe they'll allow some vendors to go down, some food truck people to go down, maybe some promoters to do some after show, not concerts, but after parties and all that type of stuff. It's gonna bring some money to the city, and I'm always happy to see money. I'm always happy to see money hit the city. I'm happy to see when my hustlers can hustle and get paid for their hustle. I love it. But on the consumer end, I'm just not a consumer. I don't think like a consumer. I try not to be bad for consumers, but I'm not the guy you ever want to talk about or talk to when it comes down to should I buy a ticket over there or should I buy a ticket over there. I'm not going to tell you to buy a ticket anywhere. But I'm happy. Honestly, I'm happy that the concert is coming into town because it's going to spread some money around. And Chris Brown and Usher probably going to make, honestly, they probably going to make a couple $1 million a piece. I mean, it's not that hard to do. Do the math. If they get 30,000, 40,000 people in that building, which they'll probably get about 30,000, they'll probably max it out at 30,000. The average ticket, what's the average ticket in a place like that? When you do the math like that, the average ticket was probably 900. So if you do 900 times 30,000, do the math on that. $27 million. You telling me that these guys can't pull in a couple $1 million a piece? They probably gonna make more than that. Because these guys are percentage guys. They're percentage guys. So if you have an average ticket price of 900, yeah, and you get 30,000 people in there, about $27 million, that's just the gate. That's just coming in. You feel me? Not to mention they get the flat. They get their flat plus their percentage. Oh yeah, they're gonna probably make close to $5 million a piece. I'm not counting their money like that. I just wanted to let y'all know because I'm not mad at them for getting their money. That's what I mean when I say I'm not counting their money. I'm not mad at them for getting their money. But I'm just saying. All right. Let me go to the phone lines. Then I'm going to break in on somebody else. We were talking about comedians for a minute. I got to go in on my guy, Steve Harvey, because this morning I said something on the show. I said something on the Wyatt AM Drive or the Wyatt Drive AM, whatever we're going to call it. I said something this morning about education being the key. And y'all ain't going to believe what Steve Harvey said. I promise I didn't see this video until this afternoon. Steve Harvey said something. I'm going to let y'all listen to the video. I'm going to let y'all watch the video and listen to what he says. And then I want to know if y'all agree with him or do you agree with what I said? And then we can kind of have a discussion about that. But let me go to the phone lines before we go there. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
This is the Imperial Fame Rothstein, Deluxe Edition.
Hey, Fame.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, bro? What's on your mind today?
I'm pleasurable. Hey, well, I kind of want to know what you're talking about Steve Harvey, because it's funny that that you mentioned education and him, and Cat Williams said he was a big dumb country bumpkin that can't talk good. You know what I mean?
I kind of somewhat agree with that. I'll be honest with you.
You somewhat agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I hate to say it. I'm glad somebody else said it, and I can just agree with it.
Exactly.
I would have never said that about him myself because I really don't go there with it. But yeah, I feel like that on him too. He's not funny. He's not a funny dude. He got lucky.
Yeah. Well, he got to start him off of because he wasn't funny, and he got to start him on basically shitting on young black people. Talking about the hip hop generation and things like that. That's how he kind of blew up on.
Okay.
Well, but
I think his.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Just to elaborate a little bit on what you're saying, I don't know about him saying bad things about young black people. I don't know about that. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's not what I know about him. I know about him. What I think is he got lucky when he did the Kings of Comedy. That's what that really took him to a different level. But all he was the announcer. He wasn't really a stand-up comedian like people was trying to tear down doors, or he wasn't selling out arenas like that. His career is what I tell a lot of people, and that is timing. In entertainment, timing is the key. You don't have to be, look, bro, is it clear? Is it fair to say, now you a hip hop guy, I'm a hip hop guy, right? Is it fair to say that Vanilla Ice was not talented?
Absolutely.
But he had a smash hit because of what? Timing. The song came out at the right time. You see what I'm saying? And there are some people that are much better artists and great singers, and they come out at the wrong time and you hear nothing of them.
Right.
So go ahead, Fame. You finish it up.
No, I agree. But also what I wasn't gonna even talk long.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that now I'm seeing the second day of the Stephen A. Smith story.
Okay.
And you were 100% right. People are laughing and they're celebrating him getting this award or this distinction or whatever it is from the NABJ. People are like, happy for it. It's like, y'all are silly.
Yeah, we don't need
watching
the
this man's
KKK.
demise. What has he done wrong to you?
Fame. We don't need the KKK. Bro, what they need a KKK for? Every time a brother get up there and get paid and start a great career, sign $100+ million contract, and then he get on television and he got all this pull and he's working closely with the man and all that old shit, he becomes an enemy of our state. He becomes an enemy of black folks every time they become successful. Every time you get a black man, I said a black man. See what I'm saying? The difference? Show me a black woman that they did that to. They don't do that to Oprah. Oprah got more dirt on her hands than any black man who's successful in this country when it comes down to slowing down progression of black folks. There's stories. What? Oh, I'm about to get canceled, aren't I, bro, for telling that truth out loud. If you don't believe me, go ask Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah.
Go ask those actresses that'll tell your ass that Oprah don't be doing them right. They didn't already said it. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. This is why I say, hey, Tyler Perry, I don't like his content, bro. I don't like what he do, but I respect his business hand. But ask black actors and actresses who pay better than anybody in the industry, and they'll tell you Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry give them the fattest checks they ever had.
I've heard this, yes.
Absolutely. And it's a black man. I use that loosely, but black man.
He's a black male. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, okay, a black dude. He a black dude, but yet he don't get no love for that. But you know what? What's crazy is Oprah has done a lot of stuff to people out there that they just don't talk about. But you can't say nothing about no black woman, because if you tell the truth about one of them, boy, you don't like none of them. You know what I'm saying? And most black women don't act like Oprah. Oprah is a 1%er, okay? And she don't represent black women. And neither does one that we criticize and talk bad about don't represent all black women. So stop acting like that black women are not approachable or above approach when it comes to criticism. That's why they on Stephen Smith ass right now, bro.
No, facts. He's kind of went like a way left what I was going. The main thing I want to talk about.
Man, go ahead, my bad.
I was going to be real brief. You were talking about this morning. The reason I didn't really, because it was kind of, the connection was broken up. I didn't really get to catch what you were saying, consecutively about because I had mentioned the Penn State story, and you was like, I don't give a fuck about that Penn State story. What they got to do about me? Blah blah blah.
No. I didn't say I didn't care about the Penn State story. I said I'll talk about it, but I don't care. See, it was one of them things where, like, I don't really care about it, but I'll talk about it. That's exactly what I said. And I said I've been telling everybody on the show, on the 1 o'clock show, for years. White people go to jail too for the same shit we do, but I don't use them as the bar of how we need. They don't justify what we do. Just because they get in the same type of trouble that we get in, that don't make an excuse for the trouble that we get in. See, because we don't bounce back the same way that they do. They have different resources. We can't be sitting back talking about they be fighting downtown too. So the fuck what? Why are we fighting downtown?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because because the reason I had brought it up, the reason I'm interested in it, just at my age, I'm attracted to fascinating and interesting. You know, the come up story. It's always a good story, but somebody helped you. That's when it becomes interesting to me. Who helped you and why?
Right. Okay.
The come up story like that. But this story with these guys of a major university, well known university. You got money. You got probably WASPs out there. With some of them, it's got East Coast crime. Listen to the last names. This generation.
Yeah, them ain't even white
your
boys.
listeners, most of us men grew up on mobster movies.
Yeah, them ain't white
in the
boys.
90s.
Those are Italians. Okay, that's what it is. Now, let me give you a look.
Thank you. Okay, I didn't want to say that.
No,
but
that's
okay.
what it is. I'll say it. Them Italian names. Shit, it was
Yeah.
shown on television. They're Italians. Here's what I think happened, Fame. People ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say because every time you kind of put a little bit of logic to something, they think that you vouching or bootlicking or whatever for other people because you sometimes think a little bit different and maybe look and follow the evidence. Let me explain to you what I think happened, Fame, a little bit, and you correct me if I'm wrong or fill in where I may be wrong. Okay, bro? Please help me out with this. But let me just say what I think. Them guys ain't even students. They just work that campus. And what happened is they bring people in that are students. Those fraternities over there aren't even registered fraternities with the university. They're off-campus spots. They do have people that go to that school that are part of those fraternities. But those guys are dope dealers, and they know that everybody sold weed at Central State. Everybody sold weed. Those guys didn't go to those schools. Dope dealers don't go to the school, but they work the schools and they get close to the schools and then they grab people who need money to sell drugs for them on the school. All right. Mm-hmm. These are not students at that school. They're not running a drug trafficking ring like they're students. They're juniors in college. That's not what this is, bro. This is some situation where, okay, we know white boys like to do blow. We know they like to do blow, and we're going to get blow where it can sell. And that is on campus. All right. And I'm going to put us some people up there on the campus. Those are Italians working out of New York, bro. That's why they running back and forth. That's what I was going to get into. Yeah. That's what that is. That ain't got nothing to do with Penn State just happened to be, you know what I'm saying? Penn State just happened to be it just happened to be the block. Okay. That ain't what people think it is. That's why you see people's daddies and shit arrest. Who the hell send their kid to a university and y'all selling drugs together? That's some shit on TV. That's right. What's and he's
the one that cleared it up about to lose his law license behind it.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So
So I just found that to be fascinating. Like, what the hell? This is deep and layered because there's so many points of interest in it. Like I said, the stuff we see in the hood, we see that all the time. I've been dealing with it for 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, yeah, it wakes you up and makes you want to do something. But this, growing up how I grew up, mob movies and whatnot as a teenager, as I'm coming of age, like this is right up my alley. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think
you know what I'm saying. Juice and power, all that shit.
Let's wait and see how many expulsions happen at the school. How many kids get expelled? Let's wait and see how many of that. Because what's going to happen when the report comes out, when the full investigation lays itself out, what you're going to find out is a lot of these people didn't have nothing to do with that school. They just happened to be hustling at the school. That's what you're going to find out.
Well, I think the one guy, the ringleader, was like a graduate.
Probably.
He's like in law school. He's in the Penn State Law School.
Yeah, and that don't mean, look, here go the thing. He could have just been like we could say he's the head of it, but the head of it never get caught. It's the person that was going to take the fall.
Oh, yeah.
That's how the shit works in the dope game, okay?
Hell yeah. He better not say a damn thing.
Right. So that's just how that goes.
Because my thing is like y'all had pledges, fraternity pledges, cutting and bagging up cocaine like they wasn't going to tell on you. Are you stupid?
Yeah, well, they measured them out first. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't just have any of them. They didn't just tell them, okay, this class of 15 guys, we about to put them on the line and make them work.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They pick and choose who they know they can get, that can do this because they might need money. Not everybody that go to Penn State got a bunch of money. It's an expensive. It's not an Ivy League school. I don't think Penn State is.
No,
an
it's
Ivy,
not. No,
but
it's not.
it is a high. It's on that same level as Ohio State. It's very expensive to go there, and it's a highly ranked school. But at the same time, that doesn't mean everybody that go there are trust fund babies. Some of them need money. A lot of people that go to Ohio State got a lot of money, but not all of them have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that the campus happened to be what we would call, the block. That's where they were serving. And, you can get top dollar when you're dealing with people that want to be discreet.
I agree. All of that. So, let me hop over here. Just like I said, when I heard that story, it made me think of the movie School Days. Especially the what's they call the step show scene. You know what I'm saying? Put the punks on the yard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey, it's been real. I had fun. I'll catch y'all again.
All right, Fame. Oh boy, Fame need to work on that holler, bro. He ain't threw a real good howl out there in weeks. Feed that howl, Fame. You need to feed it. Something going on, bro. Drink some tea or something before you get on here. You need to fix that howl, bro. It's broke. Patch it up, feed it. Do something with it, Fame. It's broke. Let me get back to what we were talking about. And then I got one more story after the Steve Harvey. And I'm glad that Fame brought up Steve Harvey. I brought him up, but then Fame had something to say about him, and I agree. I don't think that Steve Harvey is funny. I think Steve Harvey took he's a smart guy. Smart when it comes down to knowing how to move the needle in entertainment. But I think he's more I'm sorry. I think he's more strategic than anything. I think he has real good people around him. Good people, good staff. And they've been able to seize the opportunity. Steve Harvey's been able to seize the opportunity. All right. Steve Harvey is I believe he's from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? I think he's from Cleveland. So he's a hustler in a sense. Cleveland guys aren't quite as hustling. They're not the best Midwest hustlers. I'm sorry if you're from from Cleveland. I'm sorry, but y'all not the strongest hustlers, but the premise. You know how to hustle, but you're not the strongest hustlers. All right. But now I will say this. He was strategic in his career. He took advantage of everything while the iron was hot. He was able to he found a lane that another black host just was not in the area to do. When he did the Kings of Comedy, he was the announcer. He brought out all the acts. All he did was do what the crowd, he was great at playing the crowd. I think they were in Charlotte when they filmed that. So he would come out there and let the Isley Brothers play, and then he would step to it. And that's the Isley Brothers giving him juice. He would let an Earth, Wind, and Fire song play, and he would step to it. That's Earth, Wind, and Fire giving him juice. You ain't got to do nothing. Timing. He was just good. And I can't hate on him. And then here come all these little talk show appearances. Then the goofy ass dude get on Miss America or USA or whatever. This is how I knew he didn't have it all. Because sometimes you got to think outside the box. Sometimes you got to be smarter than the cue cards. Sometimes you got to know, man, this shit ain't right. And then he go get this job with the Miss USA or the Miss America or Miss Universe or whatever, and he call the wrong name out. Like, you read the card wrong. It wasn't nobody else's mistake. It was his. The right person was on there. It was in order, and he read it wrong. They gave the trophy or the crown to the wrong person. That was his fault. He had to apologize for that. Now, things happen, but if you polished and you practiced, you don't make a mistake like that. He's so busy trying to act, keep his suits and shit clean and act like, he bigger than what's going on, and he up there trying to, And he called the wrong name out. And the young lady who won wasn't supposed to win. The other girl was supposed to win. It was tried, they fixed it. It ain't the end of the world. But Steve Harvey's whole career has been about timing. He's just been good. I mean, y'all can't say he ever came to a show or y'all ever watched him on TV and he tore some shit up. He ain't never went to a comedy spot and tore the shit down. You ain't never, Steve Harvey got a Netflix special. We about to watch this before the fight. You ain't never seen that. Never. But he found a lane. He found a space. They gave him that area to let him be announced, to announce, acts to come out. He got the Apollo act. Remember when the Apollo? I mean, how hard is it to do that? You know what I'm saying? That was great. That's just great timing on everything. And then more importantly than all of it, more importantly, he got that Family Feud. And that's really where he made his money. Because when you get into that, that's syndication money. I don't know if y'all know about that TV money, but it's different. He got the syndication money. He did it for a couple years, and then he started getting into that executive producer spot. Oh my God. This man will be making money off of that show for the rest of his life. And I'm happy about that. But that's just all about timing. He get up there with them goofy ass suits. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know why that ain't a talk of the town. Now, I ain't saying I got the shot, my shit on point, but I don't own no Steve Harvey suits, man. I respect him. I respect that hustle. But I'm not going to Smitty's or Duncan's to go get no damn Steve Harvey suit. Remember that scene? Who remember Malcolm X? The movie. The greatest movie of all time. I don't care what you put up next to it. There is not a movie on this planet that can outdo that Malcolm X movie. Number one, it got my man, Denzel Washington. You can't put another Denzel Washington movie up against Malcolm X and say that this movie's better than Malcolm X. Malcolm X was the dopest movie I've ever seen in my life. Y'all might not agree. That's just my opinion. But now let me explain something to you. Do y'all remember that scene when he left, when Malcolm X left kind of like the country and he went up to Chicago for the first time, and he rode the train. He worked on the train, actually. Malcolm X used to work on the train as a busboy type. And he made it to Chicago, and he put that big goofy red ass suit on with that big goofy red ass hat. And he walked into there. He got out, and he met Shorty, which was Spike Lee. And they got off the train, and they was doing their little walk in Chicago, and they thought they was gangsters and pimp type look, and they had the chain and y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Remember when he had that out? That's a Steve Harvey suit. That's the type of shit that's how Steve Harvey looked to people who really understand custom suit cut and things like that. Steve Harvey stuff is like that to us, to people like that. People that look at suits and designer and understand what a European cut versus an Italian cut. We know the differences in a suit. That's how we see when Steve Harvey get out on the stage and he got on a black shirt, when he wears some of the things that he wear. Call me a hater, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you call me. But I'm just telling you, right, Vi, zoot suits. you know, I was being nice. But that's how you see him when he step out on stage, especially when he doing Family Feud. Okay, I remember the older white dude that used to do it, Richard somebody. I can't remember his name, because Family Feud always was a show that my family and I, like when I was a little boy, we always used to watch that. And I used to watch the Richard dude, and he would wear them suits and stuff, a big tie, and he was a cool little dude, bro. But Steve Harvey took it to a whole nother level. All right, but Steve Harvey has made his money on that, and I am not mad at that. I am not mad at that at all. I promise you I'm not. I was just making a point of, we got to stop making people like Steve Harvey voices in our community, because Steve give bad advice. Richard Dawson, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Fame. Thank you, Vi. I told you, Viola, I'm gonna call you Vi now. I hope that's okay, because I thought you told me it was okay once before. But all I'm saying to you, that's how he made his money. Thanks, Sean D. I see you. And I'm not mad at that. I promise you. But we can't let people, just because they make money and they look like us, we cannot allow them to be our voices. We can't, they got to have some sense. It's got to make some sense. Okay, you can't stand up there and write books talking about how men treat women. You can't do stuff like that and then think that fellas are not going to, have, there's no blowback to that, because Steve just saying what he needed to say to look good and sell books. And it's a double-edged sword for me, because I want to cheer for him, but I can't cheer for a person that tear men down, or whatever, and make it seem like, and bro, your path is like, you speak highly of a woman that we all know about. Now, I'm just saying, like, we know how that shit connected and how, what I'm saying? So don't make it sound like you like being this super dude is how we all supposed to be. Like, we all can't find one like that. They all don't play like that. They all ain't out there like that. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say anything disrespectful, because I don't want to say that, be disrespectful about a man's wife. That's not where I'm going with it. I'm just talking about, he's had a certain path and got a certain place, and now you kind of forgot all that shit you went through to get there. So now you think people that haven't gone that same path are supposed to react and do the same thing that you do, and it don't work like that. I guess since I got this little thing on my mind, is I don't like what Steve Harvey just said with a group of people. So bear with me, because maybe I'm speaking out loud and with these thoughts in my mind, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. You feel me? Like, nobody knows where I'm at with this. I think when we got to talking about how funny he was and this and that, it sound now like I'm attacking him for no reason. But I think I got a little reason, and I'm going to show you this video, because what I said this morning on the Wyatt Live AM drive-in show, sorry, I told y'all, if we want to solve the problem in our community, the first thing we need to do is make education first. Because if you're ignorant and you don't know, if you're not getting schooled, then you're missing the springboard of being successful. Okay, successful don't mean $1 million. Successful don't mean you're rich. It doesn't mean that. Successful means accomplished. It means you're going in the right path. You have a steady career. You're taking care of a family. Family depends on you. Y'all depend on one another. You're not being arrested. You're not being chased down by the police. You're not out here screaming and hollering in the streets for no reason. You live in a community that's well kept, and you keeping your property up and all that. That's being successful. And people, when they say your name, they say it with respect, or they say, hey, that's a good guy, or that's a good girl, that's a nice lady, respectful. You know why, Dina? Because real recognize real. Bernie Mac didn't like Steve Harvey because he understood that Steve Harvey was a backstabber. Bernie Mac was the realest dude. He was married. He took care of his sister's kids. The show Bernie Mac is pretty much based on a real, it's his life. Bernie Mac was a real dude. Bernie Mac was one of those that would fall back and watch Steve Harvey operate. And he was like, just, bro be tearing it. Just read his book. I read his book. It wasn't really a read. I did the voice, the voice book in my car. Actually, I was driving to Detroit, and I listened to the entire book back and, up and back. But he just knew that he was not an honest guy. He was a cutthroater, and he was a backbiter is what we call it. He just, he wasn't an honest guy. So that all aside, because I don't want to shit on Steve. I just want to let y'all know that Steve Harvey said something here recently that I totally don't agree with. And it's totally counter to what I just said this morning. I said, if we want to solve some of these problems in our neighborhood, in our communities, because everybody always wants to try to ask the question, well, what's the answer, Wyatt? Well, what's the answer, blah, 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 whoever they talking to, since you all got the answers to everything. Well, here's my answer. And it's always been the answer since I created Wyatt Live 6 years ago. I've always said that we got to get smart It's about education. It's all about education. Now, keep in mind, education don't mean Harvard. It don't mean Penn State. It don't mean the University of Detroit. It don't mean University of Cincinnati. It don't mean Ohio State. It could mean trade school. It could mean barber school. It could mean something that's career oriented. That's where it all starts. And what Steve Harvey just said to a group of people, I just didn't agree with. Not to mention that I just said what I said this morning. And then I caught this video later on in the day. Let me play it for you real fast if you guys don't mind. Play that 1056 for me real fast. Let me see what I got here. Hold on one second. Let me cue it up. And I don't understand. I get what Steve is saying, but I don't agree with it. But what's that little thing that they say when they say two things can be true at one time? I think that's getting a little played out. I think that's somewhat being used as an excuse. Sometimes somebody trying to agree with someone's point of view and say two things can be true at the same time. Sometimes two things can be true at the same time, but the one thing oversees the other one, and it takes the truth away and it makes it a complete lie in my eyes. In my eyes. Check out what Steve Harvey said to a group of people, and then I want to know if you guys agree with this. Check it out.
Education is not the most important thing in your life. It's not.
Pause. People actually clapped for that. All right, I'm going to let it play in its entirety, but just remember, people actually clapped for that. Check it out.
Education is not the most important thing in your life. It's not. I spoke at a school one time and I said that the principal of the school came up and had me removed from the stage. I was just trying to help his students. Education is not the most important thing. Do you know how many people I know with education that ain't working? You know how many people I know with degrees ain't got no job? Do you know how many people I know with multiple degrees ain't making no money? The single most important thing in your life is your dream. It's your dream. It's what you dream about. It's in your Bible. It says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. It don't mention education in the Bible. The University of Jamaica is not in the Bible. Harvard is not in the Bible. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. If you got no dream, if you got no vision, you're sunk. Education.
Okay, Steve, I agree with the last part of it. If you have no dreams, if you have no vision, you have no value. I understand all of that. But how would you tell a group of kids at a high school or junior high or even a college? Well, in this case, you probably wouldn't go into college and say anything like that. You'd look ridiculous. But why would you go into a school of kids and say that education is not the important thing in their life? I mean, how do you expect to fulfill a dream if you're not educated? How do you, and these are the people we listen to. These are the people we admire. Do you really hear the things that they say? I mean, these are the things that they say this shit out of the, trying to think outside the box, but it's missing the target all the way. How do you inspire? You can't sit back and tell kids that education is not the number one thing. I mean, I know of people that have gone to Juilliard, all right, and they not the best dancers in the world, but just because they went to Juilliard don't mean that they're going to get a job on Broadway. But at least they study what they love and it puts them in the works and they have the background to be able to go do what they want to do. Okay, but you can't say that the education is the springboard to be able to fulfill your dreams. Why would you say that education? I know people that got education that ain't got no jobs. I bet you know more people that ain't got no educations that ain't got no jobs. I bet you can, if you would need more than two hands to count that difference. Why would you say that? Go in the hood and say that. And ask the kid, once he say, okay, I'm dreaming that I want to do this, and I got this dream that I'm going to be this. I got this dream that I want to build. I'm going to be in the IT. I want to fix computers. I got a dream to fix computers. I want to be the biggest computer fixer in the world. I want to write code. I want to do all. How you going to do all that with no education? I guess if I want to detail cars, no offense. If I want to run a coffee shop, maybe not. But the majority of people who have dreams, you need a lead, you need a springboard to fulfill those dreams. Yeah, that's where it is with me. And I just think that you need more powerful voices that tell the truth in the community and just be like, hey, look, when we put education first, what a lot of people don't understand, this is what I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, because I'm gonna say this. I've been on both sides. I've been on the side of education was last on my list. I'm just getting to the money. Okay, I'm getting to the money. I don't care nothing about no school. That's why my grandmother told me I got to get out. Y'all know I told y'all that story. And then I also been in the part in the spot in life where I was like, bro, I am never gonna get where I'm trying to go. I ain't gonna never get no money unless I get this education, I get this school, because then it'll open doors for me to be able to do such and such. I can rub elbows. I'll be able to work with this, be able to work with that. And then I understood how important it was for different reasons. I'm a C student. Now, let me explain something to you. When you have a degree, that don't necessarily mean you smart. You know what a degree says about you more than anything? You can say whatever you want to say about the education, where you got it from, how many years of school you went to. But I'm here to tell you that I've sat down with people that had doctorates, and they're not the smartest people in the world. They may be educated, but educated don't mean you're smart. I know that sounds bad. It don't mean, let's say this. I shouldn't say it don't make you smart, because it does. It makes you well diverse in what you studied, but it doesn't necessarily give you common sense, and it does not necessarily make you great at what you're trying to do. But you know what it shows most people? You know why somebody can get hired over you and they won't even, if you took your application to Procter & Gamble today in 2026, job openings, and you do it like they used to and look in the newspaper and circle it, and you submit your application and you graduated from a local high school, and then there's another application, a resume, sitting there, and they graduated from the University of Cincinnati with a degree in education, don't have anything to do with the job. The no degree application is going in the trash can. Sorry, that's just a fact. The only thing that tells you when you have a college education is that you have discipline, that you can discipline yourself to handle task after task. You can show up, you can go to class, you can do the things you need to do, you can be prepared. College only prepares you to be disciplined in this world. Now, if you specialize in something, like if you major in accounting, of course it's going to prepare you to put the numbers and do accounting work. That's what you get the degree in. I get that. But you don't even start working on your major till probably I don't know. I know majors are all different, but generally you don't even start working on your major till your last portion of your years. You know what all that other stuff is for? Why do you still need to take all those other classes when in most cases we all did it in high school? I don't know. Not everybody was taking AP classes or college prep classes. I don't know. But why am I still taking Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 and all this old shit in the universities, other than them, getting money off of us? Why am I taking calculus again? Why am I doing that? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to breeze through it, but I had to pay for it. It's still part of the discipline. It's still telling employers, hey, I can get through 4 years of school. I got a degree, and now I'm ready. It don't mean, hey, I'm prepared. People with degrees get fired all the time. That don't mean that they're the smartest. It don't mean that they're going to fulfill the job. It don't mean that they're going to be on point. But it opens the door for them, Steve, for their dreams to begin. That's what it does. And let me just say this to you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more on the side of the person that don't have a college degree only because I understand that end. If somebody knocked on my door, y'all know what I mean. If somebody came in to the office and wanted to talk to me about a job opening, and I seen that this person graduated from Withrow High School, and then I seen somebody that came in my office and they had a degree from Ohio State, I'm not going to throw the non-degree person's paperwork in the trash can like corporate would. I'm not going to do that. I would at least give it an eye, and I would at least take the time to talk to that person. But I know what I'm thinking at the beginning of it all. Y'all can hate on me all you want. When you open your office, you do it the way you want to do it. I've had the experience of knowing the difference between the two. I know from experience that the person with the degree is going to come in and handle shit and keep things square. They're going to have the discipline. They're going to have the, they're going to have the know-how. They're going to have that thing of being on time. They're going to have that thing of knowing how to accept criticism. And I know the person that didn't go through all of that, probably I'm going to have to teach them. See what I'm saying? There's a difference between somebody that comes at you that's already taught versus somebody I got to teach. Somebody that's already been taught is a teachable person. Somebody that's sitting over here that I got to teach, I don't know if you're teachable or not yet. I don't know your discipline level. That's the difference. Just because you went off to a major university does not make you smart. But let's get back to what Steve said. Steve Harvey just said, the first thing you got to do is dream. See, that's that two things can be true at the same time. I get what you're saying, but don't sit back and tell people that they don't need to be educated to fulfill their dreams. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I don't care if you open up a bubble shop, a car detail shop. You better find somewhere to get educated some kind of way, or you're going to lose your ass. You better go learn something about the chemicals and the mixtures or something. You better get educated some kind of way. The days of just starting shit and learning on the go is pretty much over, y'all. I'm telling y'all. AI is doing it all. And AI, listen, AI is, let me just be honest. I'm going to tell y'all something that nobody will tell you because everybody thinks AI is the greatest thing in the world. I found flaws in it. If y'all want to learn something, cut it up today. I found flaws in AI. AI can cost a small business a lot of money. AI got a lot of answers, but it don't have a work ethic. AI got a lot of answers, but it don't give you the degree. It don't give you the measurement of how to get to that answer. That's a flaw in AI. If you're in business for yourself, you know what I'm talking about. AI can tell you everything, but it ain't gonna never do it for you. Ed said, but I think he was saying, I'm going to play it again, Ed, because I tried to give it that. I already know where you're going. Put the dreams ahead of education. I already know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I don't think it's that way. And I think this is a matter of interpretation, some people will say. I don't see it that way. I think that he's doing what he's doing. He's not educated. Okay, I think what he's saying is what he's saying, to be honest with you. I don't think that, I'm not going to read into it. I didn't see how he do stuff. I didn't see how he present himself on certain things. And I think he meant what he said. I think he was just basically trying to tell people, fulfill your dreams. You don't have to go to school. Fulfill your dreams. I'm going to play it again. Check it out.
Education is not the most important thing in your life. It's not. I spoke at a school one time and I said that the principal of the school came up and had me removed from the stage. I was just trying to help his students. Education is not the most important thing. Do you know how many people I know with the education that ain't working? You know how many people I know with degrees ain't got no job? Do you know how many people I know with multiple degrees ain't making no money?
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. if he meant, see, I'm a guy of interpretation. If he meant what you said, was it who said that? Was it Ed? If he meant it like education is not the most important thing, because what you do is you just need to follow your dreams. If he meant it the way that you meant it, like the way you interpret it, he would say that education. Let me try to think of a way that he could have said it that was a little bit different. Let me go back and do this. Let me let him say it again. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. Check it out.
Is not the most important thing in your life. Education is not the most important thing in your life. It's not. I spoke at a school one time and I said that the principal of the school came up and had me removed from the stage. I was just trying to help his students. Education is not the most important thing. Do you know how many people I know with the education that ain't working? You know how many people I know with degrees ain't got no job? Do you know how many people I know with multiple degrees ain't making no money? The single most important thing in your life is your dream. It's your dream. It's what you dream about.
So how do we fulfill our dreams? You can't go. Okay, sis. Where was that? Oh, there it is. Alethea said, education is not the most important thing, but it's important. If you have a dream to have the biggest nail shop or the biggest hair salon, largest hair salon, or the biggest braiding salon in the city, can you just dream and just go do it? You got to go get the schooling for it. I understand where Steve is at with it, but there's a reason why he said what he said the way he said it. The teacher kicked him out, or principal, whatever, kicked him out. I don't believe that. I think he's just saying that shit for a giggle and chiggle. I think that was just a joke, to be honest with you. I think they probably looked at him crazy, but I don't think that he got kicked out. But now let me say this to you. This is how I know he's kind of shitting on the education part of it. Because he said, do you know how many people have degrees that don't have any job, that don't have a job? If he would have said, do you know how many people that have degrees that are not working in the field, and they're living, or they have miserable jobs and they're not working in the area that they really want to work in because they have this degree, but they had to settle for this and they had to settle for that, then I would probably look at it a little bit different. Because what he should be saying is follow your dreams. I would get that. But what he's saying is there's too many people. There's a lot of people out here that got degrees and ain't got no job. Let me ask you something. No, I didn't think he was being funny, Alethea. I think that's true. I think what you said is on point. But I just don't like the messenger in this particular. I don't like how he delivered this message because it sounds unbalanced to me. It's almost like put your dreams ahead of education. And now you can't do that. I don't know what people, we can say that your dreams come first. That's fine because you got to think of what you want to be. But you know how many people go to universities and get a degree and don't get in the field that they really want to be in, or go get a degree and they really want to be a singer, or they really want to be a baker or whatever, and they go to get a degree in I don't know, accounting, but they really wanted to be a chef. I just don't like the fact. I was with him at first when he said what he said, but then he framed it to a point where, you know how many people that got degrees that ain't got no job? That don't fit into the, like how you think he trying to say this. That don't fit into me, because I can tell you this. I'll shut that down by this right here. Who do you think stands a chance of getting a job if jobs are hard to get out here? A person that has a college degree, or a person that just has a high school or a GED equivalent? Who do you think somebody's going to look at? Even McDonald's will look at the person with the college degree saying, hey, you know what? At least I got a potential manager here. Sometimes you can be overqualified for things, but I'll take my chances. Let me go to the phone lines, man. Let me change up a little bit. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's me.
Hey, twin, thanks for holding, bro. I know you've been holding for a few minutes.
Now just trying to listen and stuff, let you get it out and everything.
Okay, what's up?
And
What's on your
trying
mind?
to see what you was coming from the video. I haven't seen the video, but I've been listening
Okay,
and everything. But let's go back from the start
okay.
and stuff. You hating and jealous and stuff because of Chris Brown now and
Oh, you
everything
want to go back
coming
to
to
the Chris
town.
Brown conversation?
So you say you gonna walk away if he come? If somebody give you the tickets and say if you and your wife there, you gonna walk away. You gonna leave the
don't even know
concert or whatever?
I don't know what you're saying, bro. What did you say?
I'm saying if somebody give you a ticket, a pair of tickets to Chris Brown concert,
Mhm.
him and Usher, you gonna leave the concert? You wouldn't go?
That ain't what I said, bro. Now, okay, hold on, bro. Let me split up what you said and make it make some sense for me. So you know what I'm saying? Okay, the only way I would ever be in that concert if somebody gave me some tickets. If I won them on a show or radio or TV or something, that's the only way I would ever make it in the building. But to be honest with you, the more I think about it, if I got some tickets to be in that concert, I'd sell them for 50% of the value. If I got tickets that were $2,000, I'd take $1,000 for them instead of going in that building. I think I was just joking when I said the only way I would be in that building is if I won some tickets. Because and I said that because I was trying to say if one of them guys pulled my wife on stage, I think me and her gonna get kicked out because I'm gonna tear that place up.
That's what I was waiting for.
Okay.
Excuse me. Excuse me. That's what I was waiting for the answer.
Yeah, bro, I ain't taking
say if somebody pull his wife up, especially the way Usher been putting cherries in people's mouth, and she pull on stage, I don't think Wyatt gonna go for that. If it happened and everything. That's the answer I was looking
hold on.
for.
Let me say this real fast, if you don't mind. Vernon said Bill Gates nor Steve Jobs went to college. Well, they're at the beginning of the tech world too, and they did go to college. They just didn't finish. Just like the guy with Facebook. All those guys are college educated. They just didn't finish college. It was about timing, Vernon. They came up with an idea. They stole from one another. They hit licks and blah, 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 and they didn't need college. But they were on the path. They were in college. Mark Zuckerberg and all of them. He went to Harvard. They all went to school. They all were setting up themselves for that discipline, and they knew what they needed to do. And if this computer shit wasn't going to work out, they'd be working somewhere at some IT world or some business somewhere with a degree on their hands. They were never going to be losers in life. They were never going to be losers. They smart enough to do their own thing, so they definitely smart enough to run somebody else's shit. It's always easier to spend somebody else's money. Go ahead, twin. My bad.
Yeah. So like one of them Steve Harvey suits, man.
I don't really rock with the Steve Harvey, but that's cool. I ain't gonna talk bad about him. He used to have them. I think he still got his thing going on.
Yeah, he still got his collection, I believe. Hey man, I'm glad for them. I'm glad for Cincinnati, man. This was overdue kill, man. And stuff for Usher and Chris Brown coming to Paycor Stadium. They just had Chris Singleton, the country singer, Chris Stapleton, my bad.
Okay, yeah.
The country singer at Paycor. And then a few years ago they had what's her name? She married to the tight end. What's her name?
I know who you're talking about.
Skinny girl.
Yeah.
Can't think of the white girl.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
There you go.
Yeah, they had her concert here, so it's way overdue. Why? I mean, this city could expand and do. It's way over. They should have been throwing concerts every other month. They could have had the Lollapalooza fest here or something like that, it's been a long time before they even had that. I remember going to the battles of the band, Grambling Southern University, man.
Mm-hmm.
They could have that here. They used to have it. It's been a while since they brought it to Paycor, so it's way overdue for concerts, man. This city can expand, but they made all them billions and stuff. Why for the last 3 weeks? Where do that money go to?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the city.
They go to it's tax based. I mean, they not really out there making any money. They the pimp. They just making money off of what everybody else make money off of. They collect the money and put it in the pot.
Okay, they do that, and then after that, so people shouldn't be crying about affordable housing and why the potholes and all that not done no more, right? Y'all got the money sitting at the table. So it should be no more crowd, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it all depends, bro. They got. I mean, it's expensive to run a city. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
people.
know,
You
I
know, it's
know, I
very
know.
expensive to
But
run a
still,
city.
people will have the same voice and raise hell like I would be if I was all into that city crap, what I don't agree with and everything. But I see a lot of people at the city hall complaining about a lot of things. But when you got all this money sitting on the table that y'all made, it should be no problem. Like, why is these potholes or why is these floods and stuff flooding out my basement and everything? Now my insurance company don't want to pay for it.
Well,
And then,
you should get flood insurance. I know most people in the Midwest don't think that flood insurance is necessary, but because we don't live around a bunch of
is that a
rivers.
call after a while? But would it cause to be like an act of nature? Some insurance people like, hold on now,
No
you
pipe.
done flooded 2 years ago,
But
Nate.
but here's the thing: pipe busting and bad plumbing through the cities is not considered an act of nature. An act of
Yeah,
nature is going to be something that's in, Mother Nature style, or coming from the tropical areas, and you got
yeah.
storms and stuff. That would be more of an act of nature. Quinn, if you don't mind, can I answer this question for David Herring real fast? Because I want to answer this. He says, Wyatt, if you were advising a young college student who is entering their junior year, what profession would you suggest they consider? I would say anything futuristic, anything high tech or IT or anything to that nature. I would think anything computerized, because a lot of these jobs are going away. I think a lot of kids are going into college and they're getting into degree programs that's just not going to be there within 10 years. By the time they get out of school, 50% of the life of that career is probably gone.
You said you want them kids to do what?
Say it again.
What you say? What was your answer to that?
They should get in something that's futuristic, some type of IT, computerized
Oh
AI
yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing, or something.
I
of
agree
that
with that. Yeah, let me close with this, player. And I don't agree with what he said. What does Steve Harvey do? Because he tried to backdoor Bernie Mac plenty of time, and people understand that he tried to do it all the time. But let me tell you this: he said, and like my man again, why? He said education ain't important, right?
Well, no, he didn't quite say that. I don't want to make it worse than what
That's
I think.
how I'm taking it, though, as I'm looking at the video.
Well, what he said was education is not your number one priority.
Okay, hold on right there. Growing up, listen to my mom or daddy, or a role model, my uncle, or the teacher, or one of the guys, next door neighbor, or one of the guys from the organization. Regardless of anything, that was under our law anyway, I'm going to tell you that. Regardless if you running these streets or you doing anything, you're not going to school, you go figure out how to get an education somewhere. If you don't go to school and get it, you better have street cred from the streets that know what's going on in society. You got to adapt to society, what's really going on. Just because I didn't go to school to flip that motor or learn how to change the brakes on that car, at least I was taught by my dad or somebody around my peers that taught me how to do that. So whatever he said, what he just said, I can't go off what he's just said, man. And it's like, that's like, I don't know who he was talking to, and people probably wouldn't really understand. I would have walked out of that class where, he probably was talking to a bunch of Jamaicans, wherever he was at, that don't understand what's really going on. But I would just would have got up and walked away. Man, how would you sit up there and say, oh, education ain't the key to, well, I'm go catch this bus ticket to go over there, and I'm pursuing my career to be an actor in California. Educate me how to catch this bus, a bad ticket. I'm not educated. Now somebody will finesse me out of $50. I got to come over with $50 more. Because he said, go over there and I'll go get the ticket for you. He done ran off with my money. Come on, man. That's the wrong thing to try to even give somebody advice. I'm trying to further my career and do better. I just can't go, education. I'm going to get educated. Just go be a dummy out here, kicking the bucket. Go ahead, Wyatt. I know why, but I'm just saying, I didn't like the way he came like that.
Well,
you got to get, if you don't have no school or some type of high school or GD or some type of school cred, least have some type of street knowledge.
I just think this. Let me just say this to you.
That's coming from my perspective. I'm just saying.
I hear you. I hear you. I just think that it's just doing an in-service. It's just an injustice when you tell people that education is not your number one priority. I think we all have, okay, I think we all have dreams and aspirations, okay? But you cannot neglect or, even add a shed of light or a shed of darkness or negativity to the education part of it. Because no matter what you choose to do in life, and for those that kept putting in the screen, college is not for everybody. Education does not mean college. Education does not necessarily mean you have to go get a degree at Ohio State or the University of Cincinnati. I keep saying that. Education is about learning a field or whatever. I don't care what you are in the auditorium as a child. You could want to be the biggest auto mechanic, or you want a car dealership, or whatever your dreams are. You have to push the education before you push going in a dream's direction, because the education is what opens the door for the dream. I don't know if people understand that you can't. Of course, you have to have a path. You got to have some path that you want to go in. You have to think before you act. I get it. The dream might be the act of what you're talking about, but I don't agree that you put the dream ahead of the action. I know it's probably the normal act. I did the same thing and I was stuck in neutral. I would dream. Let me give you guys a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Procrastination dream is another word for procrastination. And I know there's people right now laughing. You laughing at me because you ain't even been through these steps. Most people who don't even get into business, they dream about it. They dream about it. They dream about it. They do it in their mind. They go get business cards. They dream. They procrastinate. They do this. They do that. They keep on dreaming, but they not moving forward. What the education is doing for you, it's opening up doors and it's giving you the path. Some people go to school for certain things. They dream about being a doctor, and then when they get in line and they start figuring out, okay, I got to take these classes. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm not sure I really want to be a doctor. I'm not sure I really want to be an auto mechanic. I thought it was going to be different. You go to like one of them tech schools to be a mechanic or whatever. I'm not sure I want to be a hairdresser. I could braid, but I don't want to learn how to do chemicals and stuff. I ain't sure. Maybe I'll just do the hair on the side and just have fun with it. Make a little extra money. See what I'm saying? But a lot of people act like when I say what I say, I'm saying that you got to go to some major university to get educated. And that's not it. What I'm saying to you is this. Steve Harvey is saying that education is not that important. And how I know he means it that way is because he says it. He says it. He says, I know a lot of people that got degrees and ain't got no job. I know a lot of people that got degrees and ain't making no money. So he's downgrading the education. That's what he's doing. He's downplaying the education as if it's not important. A dream is important, but what opens up dreams? What opens up the doors more than anything? You can't knock on a door these days and say, hey, I'm a good guy. I'm loyal. I'm this. You know what speaks louder than you? Your paperwork, your resume, your background. You sitting somewhere being disciplined and somebody said, hey, you went through 4 years of that or 2 years of that or 6 months of that. You see what I'm saying? That's what it means. I'm about to block somebody, boy. Somebody just don't know. It ain't about you. I'm not talking to you. Why don't you go away? God, dog. People just be tripping. Stop thinking everything is about you when I'm talking about you. When I'm talking, I'm not talking about you. Jesus. I mean, damn, you need that much attention? Go away. I didn't try to get rid of your ass once. We here. Go somewhere else. Anyway, go ahead, twin. Jesus. I ain't never seen nobody that want to be again. Go ahead, twin. Say what you got to say.
No, I was just listening, letting you, finish it off or whatever. But yeah, that's the key, though. You got to have an education. I don't care, man. If you don't go all the way, at least have, street cred, the further whatever you trying to accomplish in life or whatever. Now, I don't knock nobody for their education or what they doing and none of that, man. But I have to agree, but he have to, you got to have some type of education, man.
Right.
To come from some
I
type of
don't
start,
care
man.
what
You
you
might
do.
not. Some people could. Let me tell you this on the low, man. And then I probably told him my daddy dropped out to 7th grade
Okay.
and stuff from Mississippi, man. Who then migrated to the north and everything. He ain't go to high school, none of that. And my daddy started learning from his daddy. Hey, get in that truck. You want to make some money? Get in that truck. See, I almost lost my daddy back
How
in
long
88
ago was that?
with wires and all that in his
How
back.
long ago
He
was
taught
that?
himself how to drive.
Twin, how long? Because we heard this story before. I just want to ask a couple questions. How long ago was that when your daddy dropped out to 7th grade? In like
Man,
70?
19,
In the,
19, let me see why.
maybe
Let
the
me see why.
70s or something like that.
1950 something, 60.
Whoa, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, how do you think a kid today in 2026, let's go back to 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Okay.
How well do you think a kid in today's world would do dropping out of school in the 7th grade?
He wouldn't do too well.
No, he wouldn't do well at all.
No.
He wouldn't do well. Even if that kid had
no.
parents who was doing well and was willing to leave him a few bucks, it'd be tough on that kid.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely tough on that kid.
Yeah, that's what my dad was hard on us. Because when he's like, hey, Dad, we need $5, we need $10, you better go change the tire. You better take out the garbage.
Yeah,
hey,
but
come help tow these cars. And I didn't know nothing about towing cars, Wyatt.
Yeah, but
I'm 14, 15 years old. Go ahead, Wyatt.
But Twin, I got to tell you, those days are over of being able to leave the 7th grade and changing tires and learning how to do these other little things. Those days are pretty much wrapped up and gone. Technology is taking it, number one. I mean, technology is not necessarily changing tires, but the way they're doing things today, those little tire shops are not going to be necessary. Okay. The other thing is those little jobs that we used to have, they're being taken by people that come in and do it cheaper. So that work, I'm talking about us who are dropping out of school in the 7th and 8th grade. See, what I appreciate about what the Darius Cook did, that guy, I don't really trust him, but I'm starting to listen more to some teachers who say, look, I would have never went about it this way. But now I'm starting, I know y'all gonna think I'm switching up. I'm really not switching up, but I will say this about that comment that he made. It might have been necessary. It may have been necessary. And I don't like him doing what he did, the way he did it, being 2 days in the classroom. But I know a lot of teachers that have said some things about how these schools, how these students are, and teachers can't say it out loud. They've been held back from saying things. A lot of people are starting to be exposed for there's lawsuits out there right now of teachers, let me slow down. Teachers suing school districts. Say that real fast 5 times. Teachers suing school districts. Okay, there's a lot of that going on right now because teachers have been called into the office and been told that you're going to pass a kid. You're going to up their grade when the kids didn't earn it. The kid didn't earn it. And there's teachers that have been removed from their job because the school district came in and made it. Because what we don't know, I'm about to tell you, I didn't know that teachers don't have the last word. They don't have the last say of a kid's grade. I didn't know that. I didn't know a principal, if a parent called a principal because their kid is failing and failed, I didn't know that a teacher can be called into the office by the principal, have a discussion, and then the district could force the teacher's hand and make that teacher change the grade. I didn't realize that can happen. And I know there's been some teachers that refuse to do that. There's a lot of teachers that actually have participated in that action, but I didn't know some teachers stood on ground and was like, I ain't doing that. And they lost their jobs and now they're suing the school districts. I didn't realize that was going on. So maybe the Darius Cook situation was necessary because I'm starting to hear a lot more rumble out there about how these school districts are participating in grade changing to make these kids pass. And how is that benefiting society? How is that benefiting us if they just letting kids walk through school and all the parent got to do is come up there bitching and complaining about their kid, and then parents are bullying the school system, and then here come the districts bullying the principal, and then the principal telling the teacher, you don't really have final say of what the grade is. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So we better. I think Darius Cook did something. Sometimes even a nut could be, can be on point sometime. And I just thought he was being an opportunist nut, to be honest with you. But let me just say this. I'm on the edge of what he did, but I'll be honest and say it may have been necessary. Because what I've learned over the last is there's a lot of teachers going through some things right now. There's a lot of teachers that sit on their hands, fall back, and just get a check because they can't beat the system. And they so far in, they don't want to lose a pension or whatever they're getting. They don't want to lose their retirement and all that stuff. So they don't even fight the force. They don't even fight it. They just deal with it. It's part of the job.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead, twin.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about something. That's all I pretty much had to say. Why? Hey, Wyatt.
Yo.
Hey, you remember you showed that video? The kids the kids and the teacher were reversing, and it was actor. I think the day was called "Pretend You're a Student Day" or something like that.
Yeah. When the teachers and the kids switch spots for the day.
Yeah, find out an update how their school is and how the kids acting if you can one day.
Well, I don't even remember what school it was. What it was basically was it was reversal day or something like that in the school.
Yeah.
And I think it might have just been one or two different schools. I think it was somebody on a TikTok that had put multiple clips together, because I think it's a common thing of how kids act. I think these teachers were just trying to give an impression of how these kids act when it come down to their cell phones in the schools and how they dealing with wearing certain clothes and putting hoodies on and walking down the hallway, and they can't be on the phone and they say, you can't take my phone. I think they were just trying to give us a little insight of how these children act these days. And then, of course, the teachers, the kids start doing a little reversal and start making it look like what the teachers walk on. Give me that phone. Stop on the phone. Get off that snack machine. I think they were just showing them how bossy how bossy the teachers were.
Hey, Wyatt, okay, so hey, when people holler education, what do you think? Since we holler that all the time, Wyatt, and I'm all for it, but what do you think is the lack of it, man?
Say it again, twin. I'm sorry.
What do you think is the lack of education while the students failing, man?
Parents.
What's
parents?
It's the parents.
Yeah, because listen, man, I think the schools provide everything we need. You can have a kid, and I don't mean this disrespectful. I was in an LD class when I was a little boy. They've always had LD class. We used to call them Z classes. I didn't last in there. I had a discipline problem. So what happened is when you have a discipline problem, you find yourself in a small classroom so they can deal with you one-on-one. I didn't have a learning disability. I just could. Matter of fact, they found out that I was a little bit advanced. See what I'm saying? And that I was bored. You know what I'm saying? I was bored. So I was in this classroom acting a fool. And what happened is they put me in a small class. We called them LD. We called them Z classes back in the day. And my mother was like, oh, no, hell no. You ain't going to Washburn and be put in no LD, no slow learning ass class. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing, boy. I see you do. My mother worked with me. She used to read books to me when I was in her stomach. You see what I'm saying? My mother didn't listen to Chaka Khan and shit when I was in her stomach. She read books to me.
Oh, wow.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's the difference. I think the parents are.
What made you go to, because you graduated out of New Orleans, right?
No, I graduated in Europe.
All right, what made you go over there and finish your education over there? Did you inform your mom like this is where I want to be?
No, my mother was there. I had to go over there with her because my grandmother.
I thought she was in Cincinnati.
No. My mother was there, and she worked for the government, and I went there and graduated, and then I went to Munich University in Munich.
Oh yeah, I thought you just planned on yourself like, hey, I'm about to go, Mom.
Nah, bro.
I'll see you when I come back.
If some
I didn't
things,
know that.
if some things wouldn't have happened to me in life, if I wasn't acting a fool. Remember your mama told you to go to Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Same situation. Okay, not quite as deep as yours, not quite as brutal as yours, but I was making some real bad decisions in life, and my grandmother put me out and told me I needed to go live with my mama. So I did that, and it was the best thing my grandmother could have ever done for me. So
okay.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Ross says
Ross.
Ross,
To bring it, Ross. I know he said they get this.
Ross said you FBI.
I know, yeah.
Nah, go ahead. You all right. You all right.
No, I always want to ask that. You know,
Bree said,
I gotta ask. There ain't nobody else gonna call in. Why? I know I get on people nerves, but I get tired of the hosts talking and all that. Give them a break.
Hey, Breeze, to be honest with you, Breeze said, why did Shaka Khan just catch a stray? My mother was a Shaka Khan fan. Like my mama used to, I remember watching my mother with the brush in her hand, singing and doing her wigs and shit in them. What you singing all in the mirror. As a little boy, my mother thought she was Shaka Khan. I swear she would sing Shaka Khan in the house all the time. But the reason why I said Shaka Khan, because that was the only person I can think of. My mother used to read books to me when I was a kid, like before I was born. She would read books to me. And I just believe. See, here's the thing. Twin, you got anything else, bro?
No, I'll keep listening.
Okay, bro, I'm gonna leave the phone line open, man. I appreciate you engaging with us. All right. All right, bro. My mom, here's I said all that before. Here, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, there it is. Here's what it is. A lot of people get to talking that stuff about how Asians are smarter than us. Are not smarter than us, so say, but they talk about how smart Asians are and how they on their game. I don't agree that they're not. I don't think that they're not smart. I just think they're well prepared. Asians are not smarter than black people. They're not smarter than white people. They're not smarter than Italians. They may be more advanced because of the preparation. They're ready, but when they get to where they're going, they're just prepared. They take education more seriously than any race of people. That's why they're number one on the chart of finance. When it comes down to your education is the key to getting to the money. Okay, that's all. They're not smart. They're not smarter than us. They're just prepared. Okay, it's like Tanika. Tanika, if you and I went into a baking class, I said, hey, girl, look, I'm going to invest in your company. But in order for me to go to invest in your company, I got to know what you're doing. So you and I are going to go to a trade school, and we're going to go into this class together. Now, who you think going to be more advanced when we get there? You've been practicing your whole life on how to bake cookies and bake pies and cakes. I'm just getting started. I know what a pan is. I know what flour is. I know the purpose. I know what we're trying to do. But when we get in that class, Tanika going to be miles ahead of me. Miles ahead of me in that class. And that's how some people are in the education field. And that's why they're advanced. They're more advanced because they're prepared when we get into the classroom. They're ready. Mama read to them. They prepared themselves for school. And if you look at the chart, it's been shown across the country. If you look at the chart of who ranks first all the way down to the bottom, look at the education. It shows you that they're degreed, they're educated. They put education first. And that's the reason why they have those high paying jobs. And they get in fields that allow them to be paid the way they're paid. And where are we on that scale? So y'all can get mad at me for bringing up education and this and this and that. But it's pretty much proven if you look at the paper, if you look at it on paper, the data tells you. I don't think I still have it. Let me see if I had that graphic. I may have gotten rid of it because I didn't think I really needed it again. I know I have it in my archives, but it'll take me forever to try to find it. But if you go back and look at it, if you go back and look at the numbers and look at who's getting paid the most in this country, it's a minority group. But that particular minority group puts education first. They don't put dreams first. They ain't dreaming of being the biggest boss. They ain't dreaming like that. I can tell you one thing that's different between us and our culture and Asians. Sorry if this seems like a stray. What y'all call them, strays? Asian mamas and daddies don't care nothing about what you want to be. I don't care if you want to be this. I don't care if you want to be that. You're going to be something, and we're going to push you in this direction. You're going to be this, even if you don't want to be. I remember working with a lady in the legal department. Her name was Susan. I can't say her full name because I don't want to. It's been forever. I haven't seen her ever. She was an Asian lady. She didn't want to be a lawyer. She didn't want to be a lawyer, but she was a lawyer. She's probably one of the highest paid people at that authority. She didn't want to be that, but now once she got her degree, and now that she is a lawyer, that don't mean she can't be what she want to be. But if that shit don't work out, if what she want to be don't work out in life, guess what she got to fall back on? They don't put dreams first. They put education first. And what gets them at the top of the stack up there is that thought process right there. You can dream all you want, but you got to have the discipline and you got to have the work ethic to follow those dreams. And see, what happens is if you don't put the education, that structure behind your dreams, you just dreaming. I got people right now around me that I've known damn near my whole life, since the 80s. Friends, new friends, not sandboxes, new friends. They album been coming out since 85. Still dreaming. Still talking about I'm singing the lead and I'm doing my own backgrounds. Gee, I can't even walk downtown sometime and I see one of my old head dudes. Hey man, my album come out next month. What? You know you've been telling me that since we was 16? Y'all think I'm bullshitting on that. I got friends right now that I shouldn't say this because some of y'all might know who they are, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to my buddies. But they put things out on Facebook and structures and stuff out there about what they got going on and ain't even doing it. Yeah, V. Vernon, yeah. Yeah, she's not there now. She's gone. I worked right up under her. Pause. But guys out here putting stuff up, you know what I'm saying, on the internet, talking about some order this and order that, or don't even have an order form. Just putting their shirts and t-shirts and hats and shit out there. And if you call them, or if you want to order something, they ain't got no order. You can't order shit. They just out here pretending that they got a company. Sabrina Calloway laughed and said, I got some of them too. We all know some of them. Them people that's dreaming, Steve. Not Steve. Oh, Sabrina, not Steve that we know. Not my brother Steve. Not my bro Steve. I'm talking about Steve Harvey. You got people out here putting shit out here. They just dreaming. They don't have the discipline to really fulfill their dreams. It's not like that if they had the discipline. Okay, Tanika has the discipline. Sabrina Calloway, they got the discipline. They start their own companies. They start their things. You got to have the discipline. And what the education does is it sets you up. Don't ever put education over your dream. Sorry, Steve, you're wrong. Sorry for those that don't really understand what I'm talking about. When you get out here and you pursuing some of your dreams, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll say, damn, man, I lost a lot of money. I wish I would have known that. That's where the education and the discipline comes in. The worst thing you can do is put your dreams ahead of what's smart. No, that's working backwards. It sounds right, but it's not right. Steve Jobs and them were in school. They found out, well, I don't need school to finish what I'm doing. But what were they in school for in the first place? They would have never had those connections if they weren't in school and found those people. So y'all can twist and turn it and do all you want to do. Twist and turn it and burn it and do all you want to do. And tell me I'm wrong. It ain't gonna burn me up, not one bit. But here's what I have on my side. The data shows what I'm saying is real. Because while we talking about how oppressed and how black folks ain't got no money, well, when we start valuing education over dreams, and then we start valuing education like Asians do, and we prepare our children to go to elementary school, we don't have to worry about the deficit. We don't have to worry about what the school budget is. We don't have to worry about that. Because generation after generation, school will become better for us. School will become better. The more you want to be there, the easier it becomes. Kids don't get up every day and want to go to school anymore. They don't want to go to school anymore. Either they getting bullied, or they lost, they're behind, or they feel like somebody's just bossing them around because they don't like authoritarian figures. Now, some kids go to school and they love it. You know why? Because it's the nicest place they can go. It's the only place they can go where somebody talk to them kind. It's the only place they can go and get a hot meal. It's the only place that they can go and it seems like somebody care. It's the only place they can go where they're not taking care of somebody and somebody taking care of them. As I was coming on today, I was watching, there was a news thing. I don't know if it was on my phone or if it was at, hold on one second. Sorry, I'm getting messages. I don't know if it was on my phone or if it was on the television when I was coming in, but they just said, and I don't even know where this was. So somebody put it in the screen if you know, but they just found like 3 or 4 kids in the back of a semi truck. You see what I'm saying? The back of a semi truck. Like these kids were reported missing a day ago, and here they are in the back of a semi truck. Do y'all see the type of parents we have today? This ain't no black or white thing. I don't even know what color the kids were. It doesn't matter. Chances are those are the kids that are going to be in the same classroom as your kids. When there's dysfunction going on in these classrooms, or excuse me, when there's dysfunction going on at home, that enters the classroom, whether y'all like it or not. When your kids are around kids and those kids have problems at home, those problems at home at the kid, not your kids, but the other kid, those kids' problems follow them. That dysfunction rubs off on those kids, then rubs off on your kids. Carolyn Smith says ATL, they were black. Oh my God, I was hoping not. I don't want it to be any kids, Carolyn. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? But I was hoping it wasn't no little brothers and sisters. Did they survive? Because I haven't read the story. I haven't seen anything yet. It just popped on my phone. I was already late for the show. Vernon says we also need to get bullying out of our schools. Nothing can destroy a kid's ambition quicker. Excuse me, I'm sorry, bro. The screen was moving. Ambition quicker than being bullied at school. You know what to cut some of that down? Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. Agree or disagree, or be in the middle if you understand if you believe what I'm saying. Check it. School uniforms. Another discipline. Make everybody go to school looking the same, wear the same clothes, wear the same shoes. Can't wear no Jordans, can't wear no wear shoes. Wear some form of a dress shoe or a dress tennis shoe type of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a bass shoe of some sort. When you put a dress code in place, it knocks down a lot of teasing and things like that at school. A lot of teasing and bullying come from with kids when they can judge one another, lack of, stuff at home. Oh, bro, no cell phones in school. None of that. Oh, bro, you got a 14 Pro. That's old as hell, man. We on 17, bro. You in the first grade. We in the 9th, bro. I mean, whatever. We in the 7th grade. You in the 1st grade with that cell phone. Anything they can do to tease one another, you got to cut all that shit out. Because ain't none of them got no money. Ain't none of them got nothing. They all dependent on their parents. How dare you talk bad about somebody, blasting on somebody, and you ain't really got shit yourself. It's like us knuckleheads in law homes sitting back talking about one another, and we all in law homes. What's your broke ass? You po as hell. Look at that hole in your shoe. You just as broke as I am. You just don't happen to have a hole in your shoe. Your people live right down the street. Matter of fact, bro, you live on the 2nd floor. I live on the 4th floor. What are you talking about? You just as broke as we are. That snapping shit be hitting your doorstep just like it hit ours. The mailman ain't putting 2 checks on the 1st of the month in your mailbox. You getting one just like us. But that's one of the things that I think that would change a lot of the things is let's take a lot of the designer out of the schools. You feel me? Let's take a lot of the designer. Designer is bad for us. Designer is not good for my people. Because number one, we don't buy enough black designer to make it worth our while to even chase designer. You hear what I'm saying to you? We don't buy enough, we don't support enough designer black people to even be involved in designer clothes. Everything I got on got my name on it, and that's not a flex. That's just, I'm in a business where I sell ties and shirts and suits and things of that nature. So if I don't support me, if I don't wear my brand, who will? And don't worry about it, CK. I got you on the tie, bro. I don't know. I probably messed up and called him up. How much time do I have left? Ooh, I'm 1 minute over. All I'm saying is, if we want to get here's the point. You got to have a serious conversation about change if you really want to change to happen. You can't sit back and keep talking decade after decade about what's going on, and there's no change, and there's no money in the schools, and that's just not where it's at. That's not. How can you even have the audacity as a school district to come to the Cincinnati public and say we need to put another levy up when you don't even have the type of grades? Y'all don't even have the proficiency levels. You don't have anything that says you're worth it other than the emotions of the children being there. That's all you have. And that shit is about dead. And that's wearing out on the public. Homeowners are starving and dying out here paying all these taxes. And 70% of the tax money go to the schools. That shit is getting old for a lot of people. And you cannot continue to put a bad product out here that can't read or write at proficiency level and continue to want your people. That's like me, like I said this morning. If I own a donut shop, how many donuts you think I'm going to sell if I keep selling salt donuts instead of sugar donuts? Every time you bite into it, you taste salt. Oh, man, Mr. Wyatt, I ordered a sugar donut. Well, we got salt today. Y'all take them salt donuts. I'll see you tomorrow. Eventually, they're not going to show up the next day. They're going to get tired of them salty-ass donuts. They're going to say, you know what? We got to do something different. We got to do something different. We the only ones that never say we got to do something different. Because what happens in our neighborhood, in our community, in our culture, when we decide to do something different, we're demonized. We're called names. When we're tired of the regular pro and all the shit that go on that come with it, we're called names by our own people. Shit. Who the hell need the KKK? We treat each other worse than anybody could possibly treat us right now. Us. And then we got the people. Here's the problem. Just like Steve Harvey. I don't care who likes Steve Harvey and who dislikes Steve Harvey. But Steve Harvey is a problem. That's a problem to say that in my world. When you live and know what I know, now you can disagree with me. It's not going to hurt my feelings at all. But I know what the data shows of who puts education first. Tell Steve Harvey to go to the Asian Academy and say that same shit. They'll laugh his ass right out of they'll pull the plug and wrap the cord around and tell his ass to get out. Show over. Tell him to get his dumb ass out of here. Tell him and his funny, funky ass suits to get on up out of here saying that shit. We are not going to let you tell our Asian kids that dreams over education. And that's why they'll stay at the top. And Steve will still be opening up shows and doing Family Feud, making millions of dollars and telling his people that education don't matter. Remember when Steve said the one joke that was really funny? He said, shit, if Earth, Wind, and Fire was on the Titanic, was the Kings of Comedy. That's the last time he said a funny joke. I laughed because it was funny as hell because I could picture it in my mind. That's what good comedians can do. I ain't pictured the Steve Harvey joke in my mind. And how long Kings of Comedy been gone? 30 years? He ain't said a funny joke in 20, 30 years to me. Shit, if we was on the Titanic and Earth, Wind, and Fire was up there and that water was coming in, man, they'd be wrapping up the cords and, man, we got to go. However he said it. I ain't a comedian, so I can't say it like that, but that was some funny shit. I give him that. But when you go into it, I hope he wasn't talking to us. Like, I hope you wasn't down at Taft saying some shit like, hey, education ain't that important. Let me see. Let me play it one last time for those that are new in the room. I'm going to play this, and then I got to get out of here, y'all. I promised that I was only going to be here for a minute. And what is it? 10:56. Let's play this 10:56 real fast, and then I got to get out of here. Check out what Steve said. Check it out.
Education is not the most important thing in your life. It's not. I spoke at a school one time and I said that the principal of the school came up and had me removed from the stage. I was just trying to help his students. Education is not the most important thing. Do you know how many people I know with the education that ain't working? You know how many people I know with degrees ain't got no job?
See that part right there? That's tearing the value of an education out right there. That's tearing the value of education away right there. You know how many people I know with degrees that ain't got no job? That's why it's not the other thing that y'all thinking. Follow your dreams. No, he's devaluing education. That's what he's doing. He's trying to tell you that people are suffering. Even people with educations are suffering. But what he's not doing, he's not putting it in full context. He's not saying, well, if it was up to an employer for you and this kid that don't have a degree or don't have any education, it don't even have to be a degree. It could be a 2-year college. It could be any of that. It could be a certificate. He's taking the value of education out when he's making this statement, because he's saying, I know people with degrees ain't got no job. I know people with degrees ain't getting no money. How many people do you know that don't have a degree at all who ain't got no job? How many people do you know without a degree at all who making very little money? You could say that about people that don't have a degree as well, or don't have any. Let's take degree out. We're not talking about degree. We're talking about education. Education does not mean a college degree. It could mean a high school diploma. Do you know how detrimental something like that could be? Do you know how many guys in the 9th and 10th grade already want to drop out of school? They already want to drop out because they got dreams and aspirations. As a parent, hearing something like that, and you got a 10th grader who don't really want to be in school, you cool with this dude saying that? Well, he got money. That's the problem. We always looking at the basketball player, the football player. We always looking at the accomplished guy who got millions of dollars telling our kids that they could be what they are when they know they only part of a 3 percentile of success people that go through that type of living. How many Steve Harveys do you know? I'm talking about that are out there. I'm talking about who are actually out there performing. How many Steve Harveys do you know? Now, I'm talking about on the big screen. Now, how many Steve Harveys do you know personally? That's how few and far in between they are. How many people, and I'm not saying his name is Steve Harvey. I'm not saying her name is Steve Harvey. I'm saying how many people get to the bag like Steve Harvey that you can call on your cell phone right now. Now, I know there's some people that got some successful people in entertainment or whatever it may be. How many millionaires do you have on your cell phone? I don't need a millionaire ever telling me nothing. That's nothing as far they can motivate me. Don't tell me I don't need an education to fulfill my dreams. Don't tell me to put my dreams ahead of my education. That's not what gets you on the chart. That's not what gets you on the top of that chart. The data shows you. You know what happens when you put dreams ahead of education? I hate to say this. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I promise you. I don't mean this to belittle any type of career. I don't mean it to be insulting to those that may be doing this job. But when you put dreams ahead of education, Most of the time, you find yourself working in some factory for the rest of your life, supporting your family on very minimum dollars. And you know those factory jobs are very far in between now. Ask the Ford, GM plants. Ask them. Ask all those factory jobs and all that stuff is gone. So if you put your dreams ahead of your education, you know what happens? You turn around and you if you don't graduate from school, now you got a harder path of even being anything in life. You drop out of school in 10th grade, 11th grade, chasing your dreams. Thank you, Andrea. You said it better than I did. Thank you. I didn't have it in me to find those words. She said you end up in a meaningless job. That's exactly right. I probably didn't know to say that, quite honestly, but you end up working at the damn Foot Locker and you're a manager and you managing teenagers. Or you end up being something at McDonald's, or you end up being somewhere working and doing a job that you just doing a job. You're just making a living. No purpose. And that's what happens to people that you get to chasing their dreams and not have the discipline or the know-how to even fulfill those dreams. So this is why I ended up saying what I said when Steve Harvey made that comment. I have someone on the phone line, and then I got to get up out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, man, this is CK.
CK, I appreciate you holding for those whole 19 minutes. I know you was dying like you had to go to the bathroom or something, but it's only been 19 minutes, but I appreciate you holding. What's on your mind, bro?
Man, that was good. That was good, man. I'm just saying, it was a great, like you said, what that man said. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
I didn't like what that man said was criminal, sir. What that man said was criminal, sir. Steve Harvey, That's how you lose all respect. Now, that was worse than what Rick Ross said when he said crack doesn't hurt babies. He said education. And like you said, he's talking directly to the youth, sir.
Yeah, I would
He's
think so.
talking directly to the youth.
He ain't
So
talking to nobody.
this is what makes it so
40 years old.
irresponsible. This man, that is a class A felony. You understand me? Class A.
It should be, but I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, look what you're doing. You look. I'm saying, if you were just a regular dude saying that, it's cool. It's cool. But you are Steve Harvey, accomplished, and like you said, the suits are too loud. Your suits are too loud. Don't nobody respect that loud, flashy. Tone it down, Steve. Only thing good about your suits is that it's a suit. But other than that, no, it ain't fashionable, homie. It's too big body. You hear me? We need more sleeker features. And when it comes to education, remember, sir, are you listening to Randall Wyatt?
We can hear you, bro.
Listen, this is what I wrote. And you know I'm one of the greatest to ever do it. Not the greatest, but one of the greatest.
One of the greatest. Go ahead, CK. Slow down. Let them hear it slow, bro. Don't say it too fast. Say it slow. Go ahead.
Put God first.
Woo.
Have faith in the youth.
I buy that, brand. You on that. You on point on that.
Put God first. Have faith in the youth. Education is the only way to the truth. I wrote that over 11 years ago. Now you think I'm gonna let this fat mustache dude take that away from me? I wrote that. I said education is the only way to truth. So he said he's coming at me. He said education ain't important, right?
Yeah, hold on one second, if you don't mind, CK. Let me address this from my brother Ed. Ed Talbert said, if you're working and providing, that's not a meaningless job, Wyatt. That's not the context that we're talking about.
No, not at all.
No, we're not. Look, I at the beginning of this show, I said that if success is being able to provide for your family and doing the things that you're doing, that makes you successful. But most people want to have a job that has some meaning to them. And I don't mean, okay, I'm doing this job just to pay for my family. Some people like to have meaningful jobs. Like they want to be in a field where they're making a difference, or they want to feel satisfied, or they want to feel good about what they're doing. There's a lot of people, Ed, that have a job that get up. Like for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. This is just me, because I don't like to do repetitious jobs. I could not wake up every day and screw a light bulb in a General Motors car every day on an assembly line. That would drive me crazy. I can't go work at Metro and drive the 49 and go up and down the road every day on that same path. That would drive me nuts.
It's dangerous. Hold up, sir. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Randall Wyatt.
That would be a meaningless job for me. Okay.
No, listen. It's a stepping stone, sir. Like Subway, Church's Chicken. It's just where we at for right now. Jersey Mike's. We got to do what we got to do. But understand, let's not get away from Steve Harvey. Remember.
Well, no, I was just making
education is fundamental. You hear me? That's like saying oxygen. What he's saying is like saying oxygen is not important. By him saying education is not important is equivalent of saying oxygen is not important to human body living. Your thoughts? It's equivalent. It's the same thing. You need education just like you need oxygen. Dude, that's ridiculous. He sound ridiculous. Like he lost all his kids stopped loving him after he said that.
Well, I don't know about that, CK.
Yeah, I mean, not love, but respect.
No. I don't mean that part. I know you were exaggerating on that end part. I'm saying I don't know if education is as important as oxygen, because I do know people, and we're going to see it a little bit more than we normally see it, but I know that they have been graduating illiterate kids for many years now. Okay, and I
told you, sir. I said, put God first, have faith in the youth. Education is the way to the truth. It's the first three essential. Put God. So if those are the three, how can you say it's not a fundamental vibrant? It's part of living. It's part of the world, sir. Education. You can't live in this world productive without education, sir. It's impossible.
Well, that's not necessarily true. You may not be doing what you want to do in life, and you may not have the highest paying job, or you may be missing a lot in life, but you can go through this life without an education. People do it. And I'm talking about with a 7th grade education, 8th grade education. People that
yes, that's cool. If you made it, that's accomplishment. If you made it to the 7th grade, that's like people ain't never went to school, sir. So if you made it to the 7th grade, you did what a lot of people ain't never did. You got to look at things, sir.
That's true. What are you talking about?
You made it to the 7th grade. It's people who ain't never even went to school. You know what I mean?
What?
Born in prison. Some people, listen, sir.
Burning the clutch, CK. You said born in prison. You burn in the clutch. Not many kids are born in prison. I'm not saying there's no kids born in prison, but the majority, there's not that many kids that are born in prison, bro.
Listen, sir, your mama trying to abort your ass from the moment she found out you was pregnant, right? So now, understand, when they had these babies, a lot of these mamas and daddies don't give a damn. They don't enroll them in school. They don't be in school. You don't understand. Remember when I was living with my father, I wasn't going to school. I was only 7th grade. I wasn't going to fucking school. I was rolling with my daddy. He didn't give a damn.
You about to make me change my closeout music, bro. I was about to play some slide shit and have some good fun. You about to make me
I'm trying to tell you how important education. I'm just saying you letting this guy off easy because he got a fat mustache and he don't have no hair. Okay, so you have compassion on bald head, fat mustache.
I don't think I have compassion for him because I think people get what I'm saying. Some agree and some don't agree. I don't think I'll let Steve Harvey off the hook. Most people don't talk bad about Steve Harvey. They let it go because people have a problem saying things that are critical against people that look like us, especially accomplished people. People think that these accomplished people are always leading us in the right direction, and they're clearly not. Most of them just
no. He's mad. He's out of his mind. For him to say that, I'm just saying that's premeditated evil. That's wickedness. That means that's proof that he don't like black people. For him to say that as a black man, you could never say those words. You could never promote non-education as a black man unless you don't have the education to say it.
Now,
but if if you're a millionaire and you're making those things, now you're dooming your family.
I agree with that first part that what you said. I think any black man that does not promote education is a detrimental to his community. That's all I'll say. I'll say that because if they ever wanted to ask me, if I was sitting on a panel in front of a whole bunch of people and I was asked, how do you stop the crime in your city? I would take the words directly from Dr. Odell Owens in Cincinnati, Ohio. And he used an example. He said most of the people, whether it's kids or young adults who are on my gurneys or on my tables dead, and I'm doing autopsies on them. When I see them, the majority of them, the one thing that they all have in common, I'm gonna cut through the chase on this of what he said. He said the one thing they all have in common is they're not educated. Most of them didn't finish school. You see
Some
what
of
I'm
the
saying?
dumbest niggas you know, like you said, my cousin, he got hit in the testicles and he got his spleen removed. But he's a very ignorant guy. He didn't make it past the 6th grade. He was working. But he's a dummy. Because, like you said, he didn't learn how to be a man. He didn't learn how to be a man, sir. So you being disrespectful out here in these streets, you get bullets in your body. You do understand this, right? You got to learn. Education is just not school. Education is learning. You see what I'm saying? I went to education through Randall Wyatt podcast.
No. I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just going and getting degrees and all that. It's about learning how to be a freaking man and how to raise your freaking kids, sir. You have to be an example. You have to be a role model, sir. And I think you've been a good one, and now I'm being a good one. Remember, I was on drugs for most of my life. But when I start talking to Wyatt, Wyatt ain't on that shit. But he come from the same place I came from, so now he could put me in the right direction. So this is phenomenal for the story. I'm doing great.
Well, that's good, CK. What else you got, bro? That's you good?
Hey, we did it. We did it. Long as we put that bald head, fat mustache dude on trial, because it's a felony to talk against your people about education. That's some clown shit. That's some monkey shit. That's some inmate shit. He's trying to get niggas in jail talking like that. Real talk. So don't let him off the hook just because he got millions. I don't give a damn how much money you got, Steve. You're going to talk to my people with sense. You're not going to promote this ignorant clown shit.
Okay. All right, CKA, I appreciate you tuning in, man.
Praise the Lord.
Thanks for engaging with
you.
Okay, bro. Take it easy. That was CK out of Cincinnati King. I gave him that time, y'all, because I chose to give him that time, but he did wait 19 minutes. He waited 19 minutes, and I'm a man. I believe that if you wait, if you want to have a word or two, I don't have to agree with everything that you're saying, or I don't have to follow everything, or you know what I'm saying. I'll give you the time. If you want to call in and talk about it and leave your opinion or whatever, I'll give you the time to say whatever you have to say. But yeah, I think people are missing something in what Steve Harvey is saying. That's just my opinion, because most people that I know that have regular jobs, that are regular people and successful people, all have some form of education. All the education is the discipline. Okay, they've done something that led them in an area that, like Dr. Odell Owens said. He said a whole lot, but the one thing that really, really stuck to me more than anything was when he said the one thing that these young men have all in common in this room that are laying on these beds that them cots that they had to do the autopsies on. He said the majority of these guys, they don't have education. If you go to your local state penitentiaries, the one thing that these kids and these young men have in common, they lack education. There is a problem in the penitentiaries of reading and writing. A lot of them are just purely a lot of them can't read and write. And that's usually where you end up when you can't read and write. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to be somewhere and people, it's hard to find a job when you're illiterate. And for you all to sit here the only thing I need to look at is who's on top of the totem pole when it comes down to the salaries in this country. And remember, I showed the graph. Boy, I wish I had that graph. I wish I could show y'all that graph. I tell you what I'll do. I'll show you the graph tomorrow if I can think about it. Tomorrow's Thursday, so I should be doing Wyatt Live. I should be doing Wyatt Live tomorrow. But there's a graph that I showed on here a long time ago. And it was that graph of, hold on one second. I tell you what I'll do. Just for the hell of it, let me see if I can find it for one hot second. Let me just see something. If you guys don't mind. I got a couple minutes, and I'm going to see if I can find this graph. And this one will probably give you an idea of why I feel the way I feel on this topic. Let's see here. I hope I didn't get rid of it. It was an important It was an important graft. And let's see. It showed the group of people Come on, I know I'm getting close because a lot of this looks very familiar around this time. It's a group of nationality, and it shows by nationality the rankings based on income. And who do you think carries the highest income in this country? If you had to guess, put it in the screen. What group of people, what group of nationality people do you think, that's not it, has the highest income in the country? Put it in the screen if you don't mind. I'm staying a little bit extra. Please just put it in there and let me see what your thoughts are. That's not it. There it is. There it is. Put it in the screen. Let's see if I had the right one. I think this may be it. Yeah, there it is. Average income in America. Chinese Americans, the Asians. And it says percentage of population with a bachelor's degree. Indian Americans, 70%, Korean Americans, 53%, Chinese Americans, 51%, Filipino Americans, 47%, Japanese Americans, 46%, US average, 28%. If you look at the average Chinese American salary, is $69,100. You go down and look at African Americans' average salary, it's 35. It's half, almost half of what the Asians are. The Asians are outdoing Pakistanians and white folks. Koreans are right there. They're $10,000 less. If you don't think this is significant or relevant, then we not even in the same, we don't even need to be having this conversation. This is not the right show for you. There's a reason why they're leading. There's a reason why they're leading. And that's not to be down on us, but if I'm reading data and I see what, they're not smarter than us, they're just more prepared. That's it. They put the education over the dreams. Now, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you, out of all those Asians that may be making way more money than us, let me just explain something to you. A lot of them doing jobs that they don't really want to do. But I'd rather do a job and be at the top of the bar making good money than be doing nothing or not what I want to do and then being at the bottom. I don't think that's a double negative for me. The reason why they're at the top of the bar there is because of the fields that they're in. And you have to go get the education to be in those fields. And we can sit back and say what all we want to say, but all you got to do, if you want the hands-on and if you want the truth, all you got to do is go look at your local schools and look at how private schools push education. One of the differences, listen, St. X is not better than Taft. Sorry, this is not going to go over well when I say this. You know the difference between, wait a minute, St. X isn't private, right? What's one of them schools that's like a private school where parents pay? I think they do pay to go to St. X. The difference between like St. X, let's not go St. X, because that's a different beast. Let's go to Purcell Marion, because we got black folks that go to Purcell Marion, right? We got at least black folks went to Purcell Marion when I was coming up. But what was different was we went to Withrow for free. Parents that send their kids to Withrow may not be able to afford Purcell Marion, but there's a different parent. Some parents make sacrifices and they put education ahead of some of the other things. Like my mama would have never paid for me to go to like my mother put education first in my life. Okay, I'm just going to use myself so y'all can dog me if you want to. My mother, when I was in the hood, when we lived in the Fay apartments, my mama had me riding a bus 2 hours away. I had to take the 49 all the way downtown. And then I had to get on the 69 to go all the way out to Madisonville. Took me 2 hours and 10 minutes to get to school every morning. My mother didn't want me going to that school. I ain't gonna tell y'all the school. She didn't want me with my friends. She didn't want me with my friends. She wanted me to go get a different education. It was a private school. It was CCA, Cincinnati Community Academy. Some of us, that's where I met Tracy, y'all, who I talked about yesterday morning. I'm a lovely lady, the burn victim. It's a difference in how parents value education. That's the only difference between the schools. You can't tell me that you can't get a great education out of Withrow. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that you can't get a great education out of Taft. They can prepare you for college, but you got to want to go to college. You got to be prepared at home. It all starts at home. Home has to prep you to want to ask questions and go see the guidance counselor, prepare you to go to whatever college you want to go to. You got to have all that striving and that thriving from the house, from the home. If you don't have that, you don't stand a chance. It's what's next. And you'll just be standing there. If you look at most kids that go to those alternative schools, most of them are already prepared and have focus on going to the next level. Where's the lie there? Where's the lie there? I know some people want to demonize what I'm saying and make it seem like I'm downing people that may not be overly educated, and it ain't even about that. They can blow smoke. I don't even give a damn what they talking about. What I'm telling you is what the data shows, and this ain't nothing personal, and stop taking the emotion to it. This is showing you why the schools don't prosper in the inner cities, because the parents don't value the education. There's a reason why Asians are over us, because they value education. Now, if y'all can't accept that, then you keep on thinking that it's the school system. You keep on thinking that it's everything but you. It's more to it. It's more to it. We got to have somebody that's going to motivate you as a child. You know, it's like them cats, and I don't care if I'm stepping on toes. I'm going to end it with this. It's those cats that spend $2,500 or $3,000 or $5,000 for prom, but they ain't got no tuition money. They don't have any book money. They don't have any money set aside to move. Matter of fact, they don't even know if their kid going to college. They're going to pay $25, they're going to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a prom. Renting cars and $200-$300 in their hand and throwing the shit up in the air, and they balling. And when graduation come, what's next? Shit, man, I don't really know yet. You don't know. You don't wait till the 12th grade to decide where you're going in life. That's the difference. Those kids in the 7th grade, they already know. They already trying to prepare themselves, because by the 9th grade, they already got college prep classes lined up. By the 10th grade, they already in their college prep classes. They graduate. My daughter graduated with an associate's degree out of high school. She was 2 years ahead in college. Education is the key. Peace and love to y'all, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. See you in the morning at 8:15. Peace and love to you all, man. Thanks for being in here today. I got to go.
my millions. And make them think I got a whole bunch of paper. And even date a ball player from the Lakers. The faker take her, make her holler at you later. Shake her, wake up, tell her what to get my ass from Jacobs. That's the way your real diva like to floss it. Buy a car no matter what it costs. Of course, it's my Rolls Royces, make them nauseous. Tell you who the motherfucking boss is. I'm driving, you walking, that's why you talking. See the chrome spinning on the wheel, stop jogging. I'ma let you know real nice and slow. I'll be broke as a joke if I had to be a whole soul pole. Missy on the rise like the sun. If you think that I'm done, I ain't even begun.
Slice, slice, dip, shake.
We gon' do it like this,
move it all around. Move it all around. Slice, 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 dip, shake.
That's right.
Move it all around. Move it all around.
Feel the boom bastic in your back, kid. 15's putting holes in your back, kid. Don't it sound so fantastic? My Lamborghini disappeared like Houdini. 220 can't see me in the bottle like a genie. Teeny, weenie. Now hate me like you hate to eat your Wheaties. Now here's a freebie. I'ma let you see me on TV, except in Miami or the Grammy in Miami. I hit you with the 1-2 whammy. You know, tooth granny with a hole in the panties. And I don't give a shit if you can stand me, cause I is what I is and what I am is like my mammy. And I don't mean to sound too petty, but they used to call me Petty till I got with Puff Daddy.
Slice, 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 dip, shake.
We gon' do it like this,
move it all around. Move it all around. Slice, 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 dip, shake.
That's right.
Move it all around. Move it all around.
My rims keep turning and turning. Tires burning through Queens and Mount Vernon. And yes, it's my concern that your chain platinum or is it really sterling? I'm old school, I rock a Sherlin. From New Jersey, heard all the way to Berlin. And that's for certain, behind every curtain is a snake bitch lurking, and she about to catch a hurt in. Mr. Mo's on the beats, and Missy B the beats behind the beats. But record sales don't jump and do leaps, and while you sleep, I'm on the grind as a creep. Creep. I got Pumas on my feet, fresh gear every day, all week. You know I keep a high for my peeps, never cheap, underground